Hold on to your seats and get your facepalm protection ready. It's that time of the day.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE. Welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Commander Riker does to sitting down properly. We're going to have a good old-fashioned flat Earth debate today, and joining us we have Pharien. I don't know how to say it, I probably got it wrong. And he's going to teach me a bunch of stuff that I'm sure I'm wrong about, just like every flat earther ever. Pharien, hello, welcome to the channel. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. Some of you might know me from the MC2 discussion, and I'm back again to talk with Craig today. And hopefully both sides can be educated in some way.
Well, I can promise you this, there is nothing a flat earther has ever educated me on, otherwise, apart from possibly identifying mental illnesses of some kind. So, if you do, it will be the first time that a flat earther has ever been able to educate me.
Okay, well, there's a first time for everything. I mean, science is all about pioneering, so...
I always find it cute when a flat earther talks about science. Okay, so why don't you just, you've got 10 minutes. You don't need 10 minutes, but I will allow you up to 10 minutes to give us all your evidence that shows that the Earth is, in fact, not an oblate spheroid, but some kind of flat world. So please, dazzle us with your science.
Okay, so for those who watched the last discussion with MC2, you'll know that I brought up a peak called St. Sunday Crag, which was a peak that I observed from Carlisle Central. And given the distance and the elevations at both points, I posited that the peak of St. Sunday Crag wouldn't be visible. However, when we actually ran the numbers, I was actually proven wrong, and I admit that. The mountain would actually be at least 75% visible on a clear day. However, I do live in the Lake District, and I do sometimes wander up the peaks, so I took the time out of my day to go to Scafell Pike. Some of you might know Scafell Pike. It's the highest peak in England. And basically, I went there and looked north, just to the northwest, and the tallest peak in the UK, not just in England, is Ben Nevis, right, which has an elevation of about 1,300 meters. And assuming that there's no such thing as a curvature, there should be no obstruction between two mountains of that extreme height, right? There should be nothing blocking the view. You should be able to see both. And the only thing, really, that can block the view for those two mountains would be this hypothetical curvature. However, as someone who's climbed Scaffold Pike a number of times. I mean, it's not necessarily a climb. It's hardly a mountain. You know, it's more of a long walk. I was not able to see even the even the slightest curvature from the top, but that's kind of the obvious thing that you would have to say. However, I could still see like the majority of Ben Nevis. There's a small silhouette on the horizon. I could see the entire thing. Now, if you plug the two elevations of Scaffold Pike and Ben Nevis into any online calculator or do the maths yourself, on a globe, Ben Nevis should be submerged below the horizon 2 times over. However, I could see at least half of it, if not the whole thing. I mean, it's hard to judge when all you have is a featureless silhouette. But yeah, that's one of the things that has really, well, I have my reasons, but this is one of the things that's really solidified my belief that Earth is not a ball of loose. I mean, whether it's spinning or not is another argument.
Okay, so you saw the peak of another mountain. Did you check if that was supposed to be seen against the globe model by including all refractive conditions on the day, the specific lapse rates over the distances that you were looking? Did you check to see if that's visible all of the time or just on that particular day, or was your science just, oh look, I see a thing?
Well, I mean, all science is based on observation in some form or another.
Well, that's step one. Yeah. We tend to do the rest of it, which is vitally important. Not stopping at step one in science is what you learn in high school. There is other steps after observation. So yeah, you observed a thing. Then what you do after that is you form a hypothesis and then use your hypothesis to make a prediction and then make an experiment to test that prediction of some kind. But all you've done is gone, well, I saw a thing, therefore Earth flat, which is literally pseudoscience.
Well, no, that's not necessarily what's been done. I mean, I've seen it, and I've done maths against the purported globe model, and I found that the globe model does not align.
You say you
with
did
my
it
own observation.
against the globe model, but you didn't include all variables within the globe model, i.e. refractive conditions. Those are part of the globe model, and if you do not include those, the analysis of the refractive conditions on the day you've made your observation, you have not compared it against the globe model. You've just looked at something and then made an assumption.
Well, you yourself are doing something similar right now. You're assuming that refractive conditions would account for this, and
no, I'm not making an assumption that refractive conditions would account for this. I am saying that the globe model includes refractive conditions. There is always refraction on Earth. That's because we have an atmosphere with varying density that we have to look through, which causes refraction. Refraction is something that we have to take into account. Otherwise, the observation means nothing. If we cannot compare it to the refractive conditions and what that would do to the visible sight line, then just going, I can see a thing, is pointless.
Okay, then give me any example of quote-unquote refraction causing a mountain to appear over 1,500 meters in elevation higher than it normally is. I mean, if that sort of thing were to happen, we would be living in Inception.
You said higher than it normally is. Could you show me the normal? By what definition are you saying normal? You went and saw it once. That's not. You don't have a basis for what normal is. You don't know if seeing it at that particular level is the norm. You don't know if not seeing it like that is the norm. The fact is, refraction can account for things. Yes, refraction can lift something many, many degrees above the norm, especially on extreme refractive days. And there is extreme refractive days which allow us to see really, really far. You cannot come to me with an observation if that observation does not include a refractive analysis on the day of the observation. That means we cannot compare it to what the globe model would predict. You have not done science. You have gone, I think Earth flat because it look flat, which is what every flat earther ever does.
Well, I disagree. I don't
Well,
believe that even the
I
most
disagree as
extreme.
well, but then we'd both be wrong.
I don't believe that even the most extreme refraction could cause such a
I don't
distortion.
care about what you believe, it doesn't matter. You did not include the refractive condition analysis. So
Okay,
we cannot even compare it to what reality says, because all you've done is gone, I saw a thing. And then
I
gone,
think
well,
that's
I don't believe refraction could explain that. Well, could you, right, if you say that you don't believe refraction can explain that, then you'll be able to answer the next question. Could you please explain to me the mechanics and principles behind Fermat's principle?
well. Let's not move on. I'm not
No,
sure
no, no, no,
my
no.
point.
I'm not moving on. This is the exact same conversation that we're having. You just made the very, very specific claim that, well, the refractive conditions couldn't do that. Which means you must understand everything about refraction. So to show me that you understand about refraction, tell me what Fermat's principle is.
It's essentially like rivers following the path of least resistance. Like in any group of nearby sort of routes for light, it will tend to follow the shortest path through air. Right? That's the gist of it. I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but
It explains how over many micro adjustments light will change based on the difference between those. And yes, there is an element of it following the path of least resistance, but that literally depends on the refractive conditions as to what the least resistance is. So what you've just described is something that is vitally important. We need to know what those paths are. Otherwise, we can't say that that observation is or is anything, right? And so it doesn't matter. I don't care if you saw a thing. It doesn't matter if you do not come to me with the explanation and the analysis behind it. When I was in the Royal Navy and we sailed close to the Antarctic Circle, the refractive conditions did an inversion. And it literally looked like the water and the ice was lifting up in front of us like we were in some kind of bowl. Refraction can do crazy things under certain conditions. So if you don't have the analysis of those conditions, we cannot analyze your observation.
okay. But science will know that when something is so small in comparison to what you're measuring, we call it negligible, right? And in the case of Ben
Sorry, just
Nevis,
one
with the
sec.
tools,
It's a little bit hard to hear you. Are you like talking? Is your mic in your mouth, or are you using a webcam? It's very, very bad quality. I've tried to adjust it as much as possible, but no, no, that you just made it worse. No, no, you've broken it.
I'm not really sure exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Well, I mean, have a working mic is an ideal situation, but right now you sound like you're at the end of a very, very long tunnel. Literally can't hear what you're saying, so it's kind of impossible to have a conversation. Like, have you, what kind of mic are you using? Have you got the right one selected? Did you choose your webcam mic? What? Hello, ISS?
Is this any better?
No, that's objectively worse.
Is it? So it's just going to keep getting worse no matter what. So I should just go back to how it was originally.
I guess put it back to how it was if that's the best you can do, Alex.
Okay.
Oh God, you've broken it. I shouldn't have said anything. No? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Flerfs and Tech is always a wonderful thing.
We're not all streamers and YouTubers, you know. You're the YouTuber here. I don't really have a dedicated setup for video
No,
live
no,
streams and
Alex, I know you
calls.
don't. So you're not Alex Evett then?
Oh, okay. You know, I've heard this so many times now. I heard this on the MC2. I heard this on that server. They essentially think that I sound similar to this YouTuber. And I guess, you know, if you want to believe that that's me, I mean, I'm not going to deny being a YouTuber with like 1 million subscribers or whatever.
So you're not going to deny that you're Alex Evett then?
Well, I'm happy to be called a YouTuber with 1 million subscribers, quite frankly.
Well,
If people believe that's me,
736,000.
Yeah, it's a hypothesis, so to speak, that's been going around for a while.
It's a simple question. Are you Alex Evett? Yes or no?
Factually, no.
Okay, I will take your word for it. Hello, everyone in the chat. Just want to say thank you very much for being here. Right, Alex, yeah. So, the fact is that the observations that you make, they don't even really fall outside of what we should see on the globe, considering the height of the peaks. And you didn't include any refractive conditions or even show me a picture. So, literally all you've done is come here and gone, well, I saw a thing. Which is, let me be nice here, weak as fuck.
Well, I'd ask you in terms of giving any example of atmospheric refraction that could account for such a significant elevation of a matter.
I gave you a personal anecdote about when refraction literally made it look like I was in Inception. This is a phenomenon that's reported many times by sailors. Refractive conditions can do crazy things. They can make cranes look like they're made of jelly. Just ask Nathan Oakley.
I mean, that's a phenomenon known as flammable gas. I'm not sure if I pronounce it
Dude,
right.
you're seriously, what is wrong with your mic? If I'm getting about a third of each word that you're saying.
Okay, if you want to switch to Discord, then I guarantee it will be better quality.
Your mic will be better quality on Discord.
Yes, because I can use my phone in conjunction with my PC, and that would be better.
Oh goodness, right? Okay, fine. I'll get Discord on and put you up on that instead. 2 secs.
Okay.
Bloody hell. So Flerf come here said I saw thing, which is great, wonderful. Gotta love that. Let's call this dude. It just told me to call him on Discord. Dihydrogen monoxide for £5 says, I'm playing Kerbal Space Program with a mod that adds realistic end-body gravitation instead of patched conic approximations. I'm fucking going insane. Yeah, man, I've just restarted a playthrough of that game. Why is he not joined? Let me try again. Apparently, his phone is out of charge and needs a few minutes. Jesus Christ. Gotta love flat earthers, right? Rachbot, $2 Australian. Right back at you, babe. 3-1 member for 28 months. Thank you very much. An incompetent Flerf didn't do any actual research. Fucking shocking. Cryptoraptor says that this guy is, for £5, he's poing you. They aren't a flat earther, they're a YouTuber called Alex Evett. Can you let me talk to them? They need help. Right, let me just check. So this is Alex Evett. was something with him talking, right?
Hey everyone, I've got quite a few videos in the works right now that are coming soon, including the 2020 universe size comparison, but those videos are taking a while, so I thought in the meantime I might as well cover a bit more pseudoscience. This time I have thought not to cover the flat earth, but the far more widespread and much more harmful creationism. A few days ago I came across the video.
What do you reckon, guys? Is that him?
Hey, faked a bunch of images doesn't prove the flat earth model at all. It only proves that NASA faked all those images. Heck, it doesn't even disprove the globe model. Even without photos, there is stacks upon stacks of evidence.
We'll see when he comes back. I'll have to listen using the stream and use my mic as input. What the actual fuck are you talking about? Yakos Thanos for 512 huffs says, subtitles please, can't understand a bloody word. Yeah, I know the feeling. Versanti upgraded their membership to Destroyers. Thank you very much. Tony, yeah, they've been begging me to give them a chance, so I said I would. Nathan Bishop for £10, thank you, says, hi Craig, my girlfriend wants me to propose to her, but we've only been together for like 2 weeks. Do you think I should do it? I don't want to be responsible for, like, you know, either destroying or creating your life. That's a bit of a burden you've put on me there. I proposed to my wife after 2 months. It didn't take long, right? If I knew after a few weeks, to be fair, that I was going to spend the rest of my life with her. She may think it's a bit soon and run for the hills. Who knows? Fuck it, do it. Right, let's give him a call. If she says yes, you have to let me live stream the wedding. What's the secret to your weight loss? I need some tips. The first thing I ever did was just stop drinking fizzy juice. None. Ever. And then work out 5-6 days a week. I think Discord is broken here. Oh no, he did. Hold on, please. Dude, I'm live. It's like, hold on, please. But like, I'm literally fucking here right now, live. Thanks a lot, Andy says, Craig, but your missus told you to propose. No, she didn't. She was quite shocked, right? We were going to a friend's party. And, right, so initially, I planned to take her to a restaurant. I was going to propose at the restaurant. But then we talked a few days before, and she was like, oh, I'd fucking hate it if anyone proposed to me at a restaurant. I'd be so embarrassed. So then I didn't do it at the restaurant, and the meal was really bad. And then we went to a friend's house for a party, but we were an hour late and stood outside in the rain, so I proposed to her then. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can already hear that my audio is vastly improved.
A little bit. Just make sure you hold your phone nice and close to your mouth.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That might be a little better.
We'll see how it goes. Roger that, for 10 Canadian dollars, says that he's 100% a Poe. He claimed on MC Toon Show that his IQ is over 160. Ask him about the Flat Earth model he made, which he claims can't be debunked. They booted him out of Gem Panda server for his dishonesty. Oh, really? Oh, dear. Is that true?
I was... Yes, that is true.
Turtle Moves for £2 says he's got a lot of photos of the Ben. Oh yeah, evidence. Right. Anyway, so unless you can bring to me a refractive analysis along with a picture, date and time, data about the weather and everything, I'm not even going to accept your "I saw a thing" as even a conversation point. I've asked for evidence the Earth is flat, not derpity derp derp.
Well, I'd like you to give me an example of any refractive
No,
analysis
that's not how that
would
works.
conclude that a
No,
mountain is-
again, I've given you an example. When I saw water rising up in front of me like I was in a bowl or on a ring world in Halo. It happens. Refraction can change things randomly. But you don't get to ask me for specific examples of refraction doing the thing. That's not how it works. You come to me with your analysis of the refractive conditions on that day. Otherwise, we can't even talk about it. Like, where's the image? Do you have the picture?
Okay, well,
Do you
by
have the
that
picture?
logic, then we have to conclude that
Do you have the
absolutely no
picture? It's a yes or
long-distance
no
observation can
question.
be used
Do
for
you have the
events.
Do you have the picture?
Well, if the picture doesn't mean anything to you, then why do you care?
Well, because that would be a start. We could look up the day, and if you tell me the day that it's on, we could maybe look up the weather and get some idea of what the refractive conditions would be based on the temperatures. There's research involved in doing these things, and the fact is, any image given
the day
without
was
data to
4
back
Sundays
it up is just an image. That's it. So, have you got that picture?
Well, I don't see that we're talking about any particular image here, so...
Well, we're talking about the image of the observation that you have made. If you don't even have the image, if it's just in your brain, then I'm gonna ask you why the fuck you're here trying to prove to me that the Earth is flat. I'm just going to laugh at you continuously if that is what you bring as a standard of evidence. Me, what I've done, right, is I have measured the rotation of the Earth based on what the globe model says should happen. I literally did that myself and checked what we were told. And I did it so well, I was able to calculate my latitude on Earth, which confirmed I was in Bristol. Right, so...
Why are you in Bristol?
Because that's where I did the start of my physics degree before I joined the military. Where I'm from, born and bred. So,
well, at the start of this, you were asking me why I believe in the flat Earth theory, and I've given you my reason. It's not necessarily I've done some experiment.
Right, so I want to be clear. Your reason is it looks flat. Yeah? That's what you're bringing to me is it looks flat. Why are you eating your phone?
Oh, sorry, you'll have to excuse me. I was having some difficulties live.
Rightio.
Yes. So to answer your question, it looks flat to me. Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. To me, it looks curved. It looks curved. So there you go. My evidence is just as good as yours. I saw a horizon. That can only happen if the Earth's a globe. So therefore, it looks curved, and I win.
Well, that's an assumption because
Just like yours.
refraction.
You're breaking up. I'm getting like every third word of what you're saying. What the hell are you using as a microphone?
Oh, I'm using a Samsung Galaxy.
Like, have you dropped it in water or something?
No. I'm just having technical difficulties, is all.
Yeah, I'm aware. Cranial difficulties as well. Dihydrogen monoxide for £5 says, I saw an incredibly strong refractive inversion too. I was on the road next to Lake Ontario and I was like, what the fuck? Temperature is 26 degrees centigrade, water was 2 degrees centigrade. Yeah, refraction could do fucking crazy shit. Huppa Puppa 149 with a peach emoji. Thank you very much. What Icy Spin 199. None of my keyboard replacements work here. Fuck the flat Earth. Right. So yeah. I've actually got measurements, right? So I didn't just look and go, well, I think it looks like that, and that's enough for me. I actually went and checked, okay? So do you have anything other than it looks flat? Because if you don't, I'm going to laugh at you.
Well, I think our eyes are our primary means of observing the world.
Oh my god, you're a fucking idiot. Really, our eyes are our primary. Should I just use my eyes? Oh right. You know what? I'm going to use my eyes as my primary means. The entire world is a blur. It's lower than 140p. What is Is this reality? I'm using just my eyes. What a fucking stupid thing to say. No. Your eyes don't tell you what reality is.
Well,
your eyes are there simply to see things when you're able to. But once again, my observation says that the Earth is curved, right? So I've got just as much validity as you when we're just saying things. Do you have anything other than it looks flat? Do you have any measurements? Do you have any experiments? Do you have an IQ high enough to eat breakfast without digging your eye out with a spoon?
I'm sorry, your demeanor amuses me, I have to be honest.
Yeah, I know that, you know, laughing is a defense mechanism against embarrassment. I'm already aware that you lied a lot by saying things like your IQ is 160. I know it's not 160.
Oh well. Can you prove that or disprove that? That's just hearsay on your part.
What's the square root of pi to 4 decimal places?
That's not a valid question to do with anything that.
Okay, right. Right. So, okay, I've got 3 doors, and I give you the option of A, B, or C. All right. You choose one of them. What's the odds that that's got the right thing behind it?
Well, how many doors have the right thing behind them?
Only one door out of the 3 is the correct one, right? And I've given you a choice of A, B, or C. Right? You've chosen, let's say, A. What were the odds you were right?
The answer is 1 out of 3.
So what are the odds you were right?
33.3 recurring % chance.
Okay, so then what I do is I remove one of the doors. And I ask you, do you want to change your answer? What's your percentage chances now?
Well, that depends if the door I've chosen has been removed.
No, the door you've chosen has not been removed. I've told you that. The one door that I've removed, guarantee that is not the correct door. So now you've got the door you've chosen and another door, and that's it. And I offer you the chance to change your choice. What percentage chances have you got now?
Well, it's still 1 out of 3 because you haven't moved the correct thing behind the door.
Okay. If you change your answer, does your percentage chances go up? Yes or no?
Well, no. I mean...
All right. Yeah, you do not have an IQ of 160. You don't even understand the fucking Monty Hall problem. Right. Okay. Hold on. The Monty Hall problem is on the IQ test.
Well, you're assuming that the door to the correct item hasn't been removed, because if you've removed the door to the correct item...
I told you that the one with the correct thing hasn't been removed. Right, so you don't even understand the basic Monty Hall problem. You do not have an IQ of 160. You're a liar.
Did I claim to?
You claim to have an IQ of 160 when speaking to MC Toon, yes.
Well, I actually know for a fact that that's true, but
Well, no, it's really not. If you don't
Sure.
even know what the Monty Hall problem is, you do not have an IQ of 160. And if you can't even visualize the fact that a horizon equals a curved surface, then shapes are beyond you. And there's a lot of shape stuff in the IQ test. I know because I've taken them. What was the name of the IQ test you took?
well, what's yours?
Well, I don't want to disclose my personal information, but it's high enough that I had to skip 2 years of school. No, sorry, what was the specific name of the IQ test that you took?
Intelligence quotient.
Yeah, okay, which test series were you put under?
That is it.
Was it the Welsh Adult Intelligence Scale? Is that what they used? Did they use the alternative one? Which faction of IQ tests did you take? There isn't just one IQ test. Like, IQ isn't a company. There's like several different methods of taking IQ tests under different administrations and stuff. Which method did you go to have your IQ tested? Which organization was the one that did your actual testing?
Right. Well, you take everybody's intelligence measurement,
and how do you get
divide
those?
it by the number of people tested, and then multiply it by 100.
Who does the testing of everyone's intelligence? Where do people go to get their IQ measured?
Well, it could be any number of societies, such as Mensa or any number.
No,
of
Mensa don't measure IQ. You only get to join Mensa if you're of a particular IQ and can answer a bunch of questions. But Mensa aren't people that measure IQ.
That's correct.
There's specific organisations in the UK, definitely in England. There is very specific organisations that will measure IQs, and there's several different ones. Which organisation was it that measured your IQ? Where did you go? Which company did you go and sign the paperwork to do the IQ test?
Okay, give me a chance to answer. The fact that you don't even know that Mensa used to offer their own test means that I don't really believe
Mensa
your credibility.
don't do IQ tests. They have lots of tests, but they don't do IQ tests.
I'm sorry, you'll have to repeat that. My page.
Mensa do lots of types of tests, but they don't do IQ tests. That's not something that Mensa do.
They used to. I mean, you can look it up. They used to.
So are you saying that you went to Mensa and had your IQ measured? Yeah? Is that right?
Yes, that is true.
At what age?
13.
And how many years ago was that?
That would have been in 2016. Or 2017,
Mensa
actually.
were not measuring IQs of teenagers in the UK in 2016. That's not a thing.
Well, I know for a fact that it is. I mean, if you want to devolve
it's
this
clearly
discussion
not.
into
I know it's not, because
then
I've researched these things, because Flerfs make these kind of claims all of the time. Mensa aren't people that go around measuring IQ of teenagers. That's not how it works. To have your IQ measured, I know because I went through the process, right? The school that you're at will notice that you're doing extremely well and do some initial testing, and then they will put you on, they will transfer you and put your paperwork on for other people to come in and do further testing with you, which then leads to a series of interviews, and then you do an IQ test under whatever organization that it is. Mensa don't just turn up and go, I want to do an IQ test on that teenager. That's not how it works. I know, because I skipped 2 years of school, because I had a very high IQ, because I was noticed to be advanced, and I went through this process. So I know for a fact that you are not telling the truth.
Well, you're double my age, so you obviously did this at a very different time.
Yeah, and it's still how it works. You know how I know?
How do you know?
Children. And they're smart. See, I know that you're lying, okay? Because I'm involved in the process of things like this.
Okay. Well, riddle me this. If you really did have an IQ of 175 or whatever you claim, then how
I haven't
come
said
when
a
I told
number.
you my name and typed it to you 20 times in the chat, you couldn't even spell it right in the title of your stream?
Oh, I did that on purpose because it always triggers people.
I disagree.
Cool, you disagree or you like, but I do as many things as possible to trigger people, like putting debate in quotations, which makes flat earthers freak out. Calling flat earthers out for lies is one thing that makes them get triggered and do things like change the subject to a misspelling of the name. It's okay. Everyone here has just seen me, call you out and point out that you're a liar. Mensa, do not turn up, take a 13-year-old and measure their IQ. That is not a thing that happens in the UK. All right, I know that for a fact, okay? So we can move on with this conversation knowing that you are in fact a liar.
Well, to my memory, they didn't just come to me.
To my
They
memory.
officiated the results. They verified the results.
To my
When I was 13.
memory. I'm sorry, if you're smart enough that 13 Mensa were involved, then you wouldn't be like, oh, I think I remember that. You'd basically have an eidetic memory and be fucking sure. Okay, I'm sorry, but I've got a teenage son, right? I know what
That's
someone bullshitting me
That's
sounds like.
incredibly
Okay.
circumstantial refutation.
Oh,
That's a circumstantial.
Struan, did you stay up all night on your PC again? No, Dad. No, of course I didn't. Struan, why is the PC still warm? I've no idea. Struan, why are you still in your clothes? Oh, Dad, I don't know. I didn't stay on my. I know what someone lying to me sounds like. Okay, you can just stop the bullshit. It's fine. All right? Flat earthers lie. It's a thing they do. We're all aware of this. Okay? I'm not even offended by it. I'm used to it. So we can move on now confirming that you have in fact lied. Right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to ask you a very simple question. Do you have any evidence that is exclusive, including data to back it up, that the earth is flat and stationary?
Well, I would argue that people of my scientific caliber aren't actually allowed to conduct any experiments on the scale that would prove it.
Say again?
I would argue that people on my scientific caliber aren't actually allowed to ever have the funding or socioeconomic status to carry out these experiments.
Sorry, people of your scientific caliber.
That's correct. You heard me correct.
What is your scientific caliber?
Well, people who can see through the clear web of deception. No.
Scientific caliber would mean that you qualifications, peer review, etc. Not somebody that can see through the web of lies. What is your scientific caliber? What is your qualifications, and where do you get them?
Well, as someone who's one of the few members of the community of actually measuring things without bias, without the preconceived.
Oh, so you've done a measurement?
Excuse me?
You've done a measurement?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's see the measurements then.
Well, I've already shared with you my
No, you
experience
looked at
in
something.
beginning
Looking at something isn't a measurement.
Yes, it is. Our eyes are measuring devices. Our
No,
eyes are sensors.
oh my fucking god, you dipshit. No, our eyes are not measuring devices. You cannot use your eyes to tell how far away something is. You have measurements include data. It's not just looking at something.
You can use your eyes to approximate how much light is coming.
I don't want an approximation. I want measurements. I want tools to define and show these measurements. Why are you just making shit up?
I'm not. I actually.
You do not have a measurement if you've just looked at something, right? Let's be fucking clear. Just looking at something is not a measurement. Right? It's not how that works.
I believe that it is.
I don't care what you believe. All of science disagrees with you. Looking at something is not a measurement. You need a tool to measure things. A device designed to measure. You cannot measure just by looking at something, you fucking moron. This is why I think you're a PO. And I'm absolutely 100% convinced that you're a PO. If you're turning up here going, I looked at something and my eyes measured it, then you're a fucking PO.
Listen, I believe that your wording there was actually very interesting. You said that
I don't care what you
a
believe.
measuring device is something that is designed to measure. And
No, I didn't say
think
a measurement is something that's designed to
word
measure.
there
I
is
said a
actually
measurement is something that you have a
quite
tool to
indicative
do.
of a
You don't
following
measure
trick,
with your
because I
eyes.
do
Your
believe
eyes do not have the ability to measure something. They do not have a reference. They do not have a margin of error. You cannot look at something and go, that is this far away, or this many degrees curved. Your eyes are not measuring devices. They cannot record the measurements. Anyone can look at something and lie. There's no way of
Okay.
checking what your eyes show. Measurements allow other people to check them. Looking at something is not measurements. Do not tell me it is, or I'm just going to boot you, because you're a po.
Okay,
If
well,
you're saying that,
why
all
don't you give me
right?
a chance to respond?
Not if you're
Globe Earth
going.
is
Not if you're going to
Globe
say
Earth
that
is-
your eyes are measurements. No. If you're going to say that, I'll
No.
just boot you.
Listen, globe earthers are the first to claim that Galileo Galilei was the one to, for his time,
Have I
measure
mentioned
the
Galileo?
speed of light using only
Have
the size of
I
a looking
mentioned
glass.
Galileo once? Are you debating anyone that is talking about Galileo? No. I don't care.
giving
I
an
don't
example.
care what other globe earthers say. It means fuck all to me. Right? I do not care. What I care about is the fact that I have confirmed via actual measurements with tools. Right? And I know you're a bit of a tool, but did you use any kind of real tool to make a measurement? A tool that has a margin of error that we can use and check ourselves?
Well, I admit I could have at least brought a camera, and I think I'll do that next time and come
Well
back to you with
then,
my results.
I don't want to talk about that because you have nothing. You have no evidence if you're just going to say, I saw a thing. I don't give a fuck. It means nothing. Do you have any evidence that includes measurements, that includes analysis of what you are seeing? Or are you just a po, like you admitted to being on Gem's Discord? I have the screenshot of you admitting that you are a po.
Oh, of course. That's been widely circulated. I think to understand why I say some things, you have to be looking
It's
from the
because you're a
perspective of
po.
who's constantly accused of being crazy, constantly accused of being a liar. Sometimes you just have to play along with it.
No, if you're being accused of being a liar, you will fight it and prove that you're not.
Well, not everyone has the same mentality, and I do so 99% of the time, but
No,
sometimes you
okay,
just have to
no,
change
you
your
should do
opinion.
it all of the time. Otherwise, you're just going. If you admit that you're a po, then I'm going to take you at your word. All right. If you say that you're lying, then that means that I can't trust anything that you're saying. Either you lied when you said that. Either you lied when you said. Either you lied when you said you're a po, or you're a po. Which one is it?
Well, lying is a strong word, but
Did you
if
lie
you want me
when
to
you
say
said
that-
you're a po? Yes or no?
I would say that I was being sarcastic.
No.
If you want to call that a lie, then-
Was it true? Yes or no?
Oh no, it wasn't true.
Right. So you lied. To say an untruth is to
Context-
lie. Sarcastically or
Context
not, you lied. So why am I to trust anything you say, Alex?
I find it amusing that you're so confidently calling me by that name when
Clearly you are.
really for no founded reason.
Well, because you sound exactly like him, and you're a po.
Right, that's the only reason that we believe. I mean,
Well, also, you did some videos about flat Earth debunking a while ago, and you kind of know the things that flat Earthers say. So obviously those videos didn't do that great for you, and you've kind of lost a bit of relevance. So you decided to go poing in the flat Earth community instead.
okay,
Did I hit the nail on the head there?
bring up one of those videos, because the argument is that we sound the same, and one, that's assuming that your ears are measuring devices, and for second,
I never said my ears
I
are
think-
measuring devices, but I can tell when something sounds similar. And
Okay.
as a musician,
Okay.
I have actually trained my ears to be able to detect, notes and similarities, and be accurate with sounds and what the differences between them are. It's how I tune my guitar and stuff. So
Allow me to respond.
So I listened whilst you were trying to figure out the tech. I listened to it and became even more convinced that that is you.
Okay, I know that the person on this channel has made flat videos in the past. Now, pull up one of those videos and see how that claim holds up. How me and this person sound remotely similar. Do it.
Yeah.
Pull up one of those
I did
videos.
I did whilst you weren't here. I've already listened to it with my audience.
Do it again.
Why?
Because scientific observations have to be repeatable.
I can repeat it any time, and so can anyone else, but I don't do what you tell me to.
Okay, then you're actively refusing to engage in a real discourse.
No, the debate is about the flat Earth and evidence pertaining to it. But all you've done so far is gone, I saw a thing, derpy, 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 derp, Alex. So, I'm going to ignore you demanding me to do things because, well, fuck you, basically. And I'm just going to ask you again, do you have any evidence that shows the Earth is flat that you can actually show me and discuss and explain the mechanisms behind it, and then explain gravity and why that wouldn't work on a flat Earth and all the observations from space and videos and, all the shit that shows that the Earth isn't flat? Or are you just going to say it looks flat, derpy, derpy, derp?
Well, I think the burden of proof also lies on you.
Incorrect.
I have my own obvious observations.
100% incorrect. 100% incorrect. I've met my burden many times. The globe does not have the burden of proof. In fact, you are going against a widely accepted scientific paradigm, so you clearly have the burden of proof in this case. I can cite many measurements that are repeatable and testable, including ones I've done personally myself. My burden is completely satisfied in every single way, shape, and form. I don't need to do anything else that I've not done 1,000 times already. You could be the first flat earther ever to show some evidence that the Earth is flat. But no, like all other flat earthers, you're a fucking idiot. You didn't even know the Monty Python problem. The Monty Python, the Monty Hall problem, for fuck's sake.
I've given it already, and in response you've accused me of being someone who I'm not even going to deny anymore, because if you think that that's me, then I find that hilarious. And
cool, so I'll just call you Alex from now on then, shall we?
Excuse me?
So I'll just call you Alex from now on, yeah?
If you want to. I mean, it's not true, but if you'd like to do that, then I think the humour value in that is
I mean, you're not smart enough to already understand humour. But anyway, so we know you're a liar. So we'll just move on with that fact established. Evidence about the Earth being flat. We're not going to talk about you seeing something anymore. Let's move on to your next piece of evidence, because surely you wouldn't come to a debate with just, well, I saw a thing, right? Surely you would come with more. Surely you would come prepared, considering you've been bugging me for about 3 months to have this debate. Surely you would turn up here with evidence abound, right?
You came to me. Back to me. What are you talking about, mate?
You've been messaging me constantly, including finding me on your alt account after I banned you. That
was months ago, and you're the one who came crawling back to me, mate. What are you talking about?
Maybe you are confused how things work. And again, you're avoiding the question. I'm going to ask it again. Try and focus, you ADHD rizzled moron. Do you have any evidence that the Earth is flat other than I saw a thing?
Well, given how a debate is structured, I've said my piece. It's time for you to give your evidence to the contrary. That's how a debate works. It's back and forth.
No, I told you the format. When you turned up, it would be discussing your evidence.
That was never said to me.
Can you not read? Do you want to go? Do you want me to show the audience now the message? Did you not read the things in your Discord that I sent you before you turned up to the debate, or? I literally sent you, here's the format.
This is highly unproductive, in my opinion.
So you don't have any evidence the Earth is flat, then?
I've given it to you.
No, you didn't give me any evidence. You said, I saw a thing. That's not evidence the Earth is flat. It's not repeatable. It's not testable.
It is repeatable, and I've already said I'm going to repeat it.
No, it's not repeatable and testable, because anyone can just go and say, I saw a thing. We cannot repeat it because we have no evidence it happened in the first place. You didn't even record it, for fuck's sake. You just went and said, I saw a thing. Right? But again, surely you didn't only come with one piece of evidence. Surely you came with more, right?
I can flip the exact same thing onto you.
No, this is my show, and I'm asking you the question. I have hundreds of bits of evidence, so it doesn't matter. I want you to give me another piece of evidence that the Earth is flat, because I know you didn't just come with "I saw a thing." What is your next piece, please?
I know that anything I say is going to be laughed at, and you're not going to take it seriously.
Answer the question, otherwise I'm just going to get rid of you because you're refusing to engage in the conversation. I am asking you for your next piece of evidence that the Earth is flat so that we can discuss it. I've explained why your first piece of evidence is not valid, so let's move on to your next piece. Please, go on with your next piece of evidence. You are free to share the screen and show everyone the evidence that you have. Over to you.
Okay, well, here's one of my main refutations. We are led to believe that under Newtonian gravity, which is at least alleged to be an approximation of what we see on our day-to-day lives, mass attracts mass, correct?
Yes. This isn't a time to question me. This is just to give your evidence. So just, you don't need to ask me questions. Just give your evidence.
We have any number of massive objects, such as mountains or continents or even the moon, and the moon is at least purported to be 1/80th of the mass of Earth, correct?
No.
Well, 1/80th of the mass of Earth is an approximation for the moon's alleged mass.
No. About 1/5.
No, that's the alleged gravity is 1/6. The alleged mass is 1/80th. So you don't know what you're talking about. The alleged gravity is a fifth to a sixth. The alleged mass is an 80th.
No, you're right. 81 times. Okay. Yeah, carry on.
So I'm glad that at least both sides could learn something today, even if it was just a single number.
I'm sure I've learned that before. I just didn't have it in my brain at that particular point. But yeah, carry on.
So, in that case, why isn't the moon's pull on us 1/80th that of Earth? Because
FG equals GM1 M2 over R squared.
Right. And
yeah. Because the moon is a 250,000 miles away, and the gravitational attraction decreases with the square of the distance, which means it's gets exponentially weaker the further away it gets. So the gravity wouldn't be exactly linear because there's not a linear function in the equation. It's a squared function, which means it's an exponential growth. Do you understand? You were tested by Mensa, right? You would know what squared distance force would mean, right?
Oh yes, a squared. I mean, a square, 2 squared is 2 times 2 as a basic example. So yes,
no,
the claim is
like
that
I'm saying that okay. Can you FG equals GM1 M2 over R squared? Could you tell me what that actually means? Do you know?
Well, that's the alleged equation is the force of gravity is the gravitational constant times the mass, which the factor of those two is called the standard gravitational parameter, and then you divide that by the square of the distance between them. That's the standard method of approximating Newtonian gravity.
Okay, but what does that mean mechanically?
That means that, say you double the distance between 2 objects, the gravitational attraction between them will decrease by a factor of 4, which is the square of 2.
Okay, so it's inversely proportional, correct?
Yes.
Right. Well, there's your answer. You do the maths of what you would expect with the moon being that far away, and what happens is exactly what we predict.
Okay, well, my response that I've naturally been trying to lead on to is that exponential, quote-unquote, inverse square gravity doesn't necessarily have to be exactly that formula to describe what we see. I believe that linear or just simple inverse gravity can describe exactly the same thing.
Well, no, absolutely 100% would not, because it wouldn't increase in a factor of 4 when you double the distance. It would increase linearly. That would not work. You're trying to change a constant of the universe, and that would break everything. It's not linear, it's squared. What the fuck are you on about?
Well, what my point is that if we can construct a model using inverse gravity, it disproves the need for a square.
What
It
do you
just
mean
proves that the
inverse
equation isn't
gravity?
nonsense. Sorry?
What do you mean inverse gravity?
Well, inverse as opposed to inverse square.
It's not inverse. It's inversely proportional to the square of the distance.
Well,
It's
yes,
not.
but
It's not
in the
exactly
community,
exponential. It's not exactly exponential. It's just the extreme growth the further away it gets. The force is less and less and less. Extremely amount. It's not exactly like it's not exactly an exponential equation. It's a squared function. That's not going to.
yeah.
You can't just replace that with a linear function. What are you talking about?
Well, okay. If you give me a chance, I come with very strong evidence. Um, I didn't get the chance to share this on my last encounter, but I have actually constructed a detailed simulation of orbital mechanics using simple linear fall off of gravity, and it
Let's
works.
see it then.
Okay, allow me to just use the toilet quick, and then I'll come back and do it. Okay?
You've got the simulation.
Yes,
Okay.
it's done.
And it matches the model that we have and everything that we see.
Well, you can certainly construct orbits using it.
You can construct orbits with just a linear gravity function,
Yes.
and they work the same as we have in our model of the barycentric solar system.
Yes.
They
Well,
work exactly the same.
Barycentric, is that referring to the center of mass between the Sun and Jupiter?
No, it's the center of mass of the entire solar system.
Well, I mean, all the other planets would be negligible in the heliocentric model.
Barycentric, not heliocentric. And
Well,
negligible doesn't mean not there. It's the center of mass of all the things in the solar system.
well, such a barycenter would fluctuate wildly if there were so many variables.
No, because the majority of the mass, like you said, is like literally in the Sun and Jupiter, but it doesn't change the fact that there is other masses. There is like perturbations in the barycenter, of course, because of all of the masses. But again, just do the maths, and you'll understand why what you just said was a bit ridiculous.
Okay, allow me to use the toilet because I can't think straight. I really have to go. And then when I get back,
I told
we
you
can
to go
continue
before
this,
we
okay?
started.
Excuse me?
I told you to go before we started.
Well, I didn't need to before we started.
Should have thought ahead.
Well, I did. I warned you.
Do you have a hall pass?
Well, I'm sort of clairvoyant when it comes to the need
Do
to
you
use
have a hall pass?
the lab. Well, I'm beyond school age, so no.
Well, I can't allow you to go then. Sorry. No hall pass, no toilet.
Well, I'm going to have to disobey.
I'm sorry, but I'm not allowing it. Stay where you are. Nathan Bishop, £5, $5. Reminds me of that time a flat earther showed up to the debate without a brain. Well, that's every fucking time. Cryoraptor says for £10, thank you very much. Sorry to disrupt the flow of the stream. I've sent the evidence that the person is Alex Evan to you and Draco. If it was some random pearl, I wouldn't care, but this person is genuinely ill. Let me have a look. Where have you sent that evidence? I'm assuming Discord somewhere. Interesting.
I've returned.
Yes, Alex, you have.
That's not actually my name. I might adopt it as my.
Alex says what?
I might adopt that name as my pseudonym, given you seem so fond of it.
Alex says what? Yeah, I've just got a bunch of evidence that you are Alex. So I mean, it's cool. Icy Spin 19 says, "Can your guest sing Calder Happy Birthday? He's too scared to ask." You want to sing Happy Birthday to Calder Rassold, one of my subscribers?
I'm gonna have to politely decline.
JSS Tiger says for $5, "Are you the guy that lied to Will Duffy about the golden ticket offer?"
No.
You're not.
Nope.
Okay. PJ says for $5, "Looking at Craig and he's only 4.5 inches tall with my perfect measuring eyeballs." I know, right? Jim Daniels for $20 says, "This is similar to the time there on MC Toon. Issues with the mic, had to take a bowel movement, and PP made his laptop with a 3D printer, etc., etc. MC Toon explained refraction in detail. You're a Poe." Right. Oh, right. Okay. So you should be able to just share your screen. So show us this evidence of orbits matching exactly what our barycentric model says.
Okay. You will know that I'm using my phone, and this is on my computer. So if I switch, I will have to use the dodgy audio again.
That sounds like a you problem.
Oh, it's 100% a me problem.
Well, maybe you could just like turn on the camera on your phone and point it at your computer or something. And even show us your face, Alex. That would be great.
Why do you want to see my face?
Well, to prove that you're not Alex.
Do you have Alex's face?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Dom the Blade for £2 says, "Tell a bricklayer or a joiner to not measure." Why would I not have Alex's face?
Well, I'm curious, because if you want my face, that assumes that you have a face to compare it to.
Well, yeah, I've got Alex's face.
Okay. I mean, what am I meant to do with that information?
Show me your face so I can compare it.
I mean, I already told you on the terms of the debate that I'm not going to use my camera. Same as my usual principle.
Because you're camera shy, because you don't want to let everyone know that you're Alex. Yes, I understand. Anyway, let's see this bunch of shit. I mean this evidence that you've got that gravity works with just a linear function instead of inversely proportional. Exactly the same as it does in the barycentric model. 100%.
Allow me to switch to my PC. I'm going to have to deal with people.
That's all right. We'll just laugh at you with your inability to tech. That's fine, Alex. No worries. Rosie says for $5, "Alex here is so Poe. He's likely Mikey Smith's infected big toe." Don't worry, guys. Tokley's not real. He can't hurt you. Gary IOW for £5 says, "As a musician, I can tune a guitar or a bass to concert pitch by ear, and I'm not talking 432 hertz. I'm talking a 440. Yeah. The Turtle Moves for £2 says, "I spy with my dodgy eye." Jesus for $2 says, "Mensa means stupid in Spanish. IQ in the other way." Right. So let me be clear. I want to see you displaying a model that matches 100% what we see in reality using only a linear function of gravity.
I'm sorry?
I said I want you to demonstrate to me the exact barycentric model that we have, working exactly the way it does, with only a linear function of gravity. If you do so, I will provide you my left testicle.
You offering me your testicle, good sir?
Yes. Jim Daniels for £5 says, just like when on Toons, he has to potty to Google stuff. Just come on and show us already. Bill Tetley for $5 says, are you still doing a raffle to win a special invite to a secret NASA moon-based dance party? Here's another entry from me. Shh, dude, shush. Guys, if you want to ask our Derp a question here, then feel free to send in your super chats. Gary IOW for £5 says, I lost my phone. Can someone call it, please?
Are you observing this by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, now you will notice. Oh, excuse me. I might have to just alter the source code here to allow for to map view. Give me a second.
Gary, I don't want to phone that number, but I kind of do. The Drunk Debunk Show for $4.99 says, pretty sure he's dragging a body.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right. Here we go. So you'll see here that I've constructed a simulation, an approximation of a solar system using Newtonian gravity. And you can see many of the
I asked for it to do our barycentric solar system that we have exactly the same with all the perturbations and everything. The elliptical orbit of Earth, not just here's a thing I made that isn't actually reality. That's not what I want. I want you to do a model of reality of the solar system that we say that we have, matching the orbits and the forces and everything. I mean, I can create a No Man's Sky thing as well. It's cool, but that doesn't show how gravity works with a linear function.
You can, my good friend.
Well, I really probably could. It's not hard. I'm kind of actually an expert in VFX. It's not going to be a problem for me to make something like this.
Well, are you a programmer?
I can program basic stuff.
What, in HTML?
Other stuff. But
like
this doesn't show that it matches what we say. This doesn't show that it matches what. This doesn't show that it matches what we say, right?
Are you if you're a programmer, tell me.
Anyway,
what language
this doesn't show that it matches what we say happens. So where's the simulation that matches the barycentric universe?
Here, it's right here.
What is that? Our barycentric universe, our barycentric exact solar system, matching what we have with our planets, our perturbations, our elliptical orbits, or is this just a random thing that you've made?
There are any number of different exoplanets in their own solar systems in the globe Earth model, and that's what I'm simulating here. I'm seeing.
Show me where it says that it's a linear proportion of gravity.
Yes, I can show you the source code. See how there's an elliptical orbit here. It has an inclination, it has an argument of anomaly, it has an aphelion and a perihelion. I mean,
and you're saying that none of this at all contains anything that would have a inversely proportional force compared to the distance. Of course, I can make a source code appear to say anything, obviously. And also, I can program anything to do anything if it's not matching what reality says. If this is a very small, solar system with very small masses, then something could happen different. But I want you to do what the universe that we exist in shows, right? I don't want you to just create a random simulation. I asked you to show that our barycentric solar system works with a linear proportion of gravity, not just a random solar system that you've made, our solar system. The universe that we exist in, the reality that we... Hold on, I'm talking. I'll let you know when I'm done. The reality that we exist in, you and I, this solar system. Simulate that working with only a linear gravity function? You can't, because it can't happen.
I'm showing you.
No. This solar system.
Why specifically this one? I mean, there are any number of solar systems.
Which solar system is that? Or is that just one you've made up?
It's a simulation.
Right, okay. It's a simulation of nothing. I want to see a simulation of our solar system as it works in reality, that we know it works because we've checked, working with only a linear function of gravity. Can you do that?
That's an unreasonably tight standard of evidence.
No, it's not.
That's not needed at all.
It's absolutely not a unreasonable standard of evidence. It's an exact standard of evidence we need, because we know our solar system works like this. We know the distances between the planets and the masses. We know the orbits, and we know that it functions on an inversely proportional to the square of the distance function. So if you can show that the universe that we actually exist in reality can function in a different way, you get my left testicle.
I have no need for your left testicle, so.
Well, you don't have any yourself, so you could probably use it.
That's quite a sexist assumption, but I'm just going to let that slide.
Sexist? I didn't say you were a girl or anything. Right, so if that works, if what you're saying works, you should be able to, no problem at all, show me our solar system functioning with a linear proportion, with the masses and the distances that we say. Why can't you?
I can.
Go on then.
Okay, well, we've already established that you lied about being a programmer because you couldn't even name the language you use.
I can name many languages.
Well, what language do you use to program?
I use many languages.
Name one then, my good friend.
C++.
Do you program in C++?
Have done.
I don't think that's true.
Sure.
What have you created in C++?
Stuff. But anyway, this is about your evidence that the Earth is flat.
What the hell? Dude, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Dude,
yeah.
if you want...
So anyway, this is about your evidence that the Earth is flat. And like, seriously, if that works, if what you're saying functions correctly, Alex...
C++?
If what you're saying functions correctly, Alex, then you would be able to simulate our solar system as we say, with the masses and the distances that we say. Can you do that, yes or no? Yes or no, yes or no?
I'm Alex again now, am I? I'm Alex again now, am I?
You've always been Alex, yes.
I've only been Alex as of about 30 minutes ago.
Yes, you've always been Alex.
Okay, well, allow me to summarize what's happened here.
No, Alex, I've asked you a question, and I'm still waiting for an answer. No, you're not. All right, it's a yes or no question. I'm going to phrase it to you again, and I would like a yes or no answer. All right? Can you, with your linear functions of gravity, simulate the solar system that we live in with the masses and the distances that we say and the orbits that we say? Can you do it, yes or no?
Yes.
Go on then.
Well, if you weren't lying about being a programmer, then you
go on then,
do it. You can just do.
Go on then, do it.
What's my time frame?
Now, just do it.
That's impossible.
No, it's not.
To do now.
Just do it. Do it live. Show us you doing it.
That would take me days.
Why? You that bad?
To edit the simulation, I've spent months establishing. To edit the parameters, yes, it would take
no, you shouldn't. All right, just chuck in. Just do. Don't even have to do all the planets. Do Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and Jupiter. All right, 5 planets. Shouldn't take you long to chuck those in with the variables, with the distances and the masses that we say. Just do it live. It's okay. We can get some questions for you from the chat.
That's still more than half.
Stop making excuses and do it. If you could stimulate the actual solar system, then you would have started with that instead of a nonsense solar system that looks like it's from No Man's Sky.
I think you're more interested in showmanship than actually considering my evidence.
Well, no, I'm interested in you showing evidence of your claim. And that would mean you showing that the galaxy, the solar system that we live in the galaxy that we live in, functions under the parameters that you have just set, which would be a linear function of gravity. Show me that that works. Put the masses of, right, just do 2 planets, all right? Let's just do Earth and Jupiter at the distances that they say they are, with the mass of the sun, and let's see your simulation holding the exact orbits matching the predictions that we say.
If you knew anything about programming, you would know that you'd need to come back to me in a couple of weeks.
Just start the process. Show me.
I'm not going to leak the entirety of my source code.
Why
I
not?
can show you screenshots of the functions that I'm using, if you like.
Why not? So you don't want anyone else
Because-
to be able to test your work?
No, I can show you the gravity function, sure. I can show you
No.
that part of
Why
the
won't
source
you
code,
release
but
the entire source code so that we can all check it?
because it's my intellectual property.
Right, so you're hiding within it the functions that include everything that is in our, solar system and the gravity that we say they are, and you're just pretending that they're not there because you won't show them us. Is that right?
That's an accusation of conspiracy.
And can you prove that I'm incorrect?
Well, it's an innocent till proven guilty world, is it not?
No. This is not a court of law. This is the internet. You are guilty until proven innocent.
Well, I would argue that that's a poisonous platform for
I
scientific
don't care what
discourse.
you would argue. Can you prove that there is nowhere in your source code Newtonian gravity with a square distance function?
I can prove that, but I'd need you to sign a non-disclosure agreement first.
Okay, I'll sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Okay, well, we'll have to contact the lawyer and get that drawn up.
You don't have to do a lawyer. You can just literally download one and do it yourself. You don't need a lawyer for it.
Well, I would need to go and find the optimal one, and that's not something we can do on a live stream. If you want to,
Yeah, it is.
If
It
you
could
wanna have
probably
another
take about 20
discussion in a
seconds
couple
to
of
find a
weeks,
form. In
then-
fact, you know what? You could just get ChatGPT to write up a non-disclosure agreement that we could both agree to right now.
I don't trust ChatGPT to write legal advice or documents. Thank you. That would be
It works pretty well. It can quite easily whack up a simple non-disclosure agreement. They're not exactly complicated.
well, let's just say that I don't trust AI to manage my legal
I
affairs.
don't care what you don't trust. You can check what it says and see if you agree or not.
Well, then I'd have to check it. I mean, listen, if you want to go through with this, which I'm happy to, you'll have to come back in a couple of weeks and pick up where we've left off on this. If you knew anything about programming, you'd understand.
Yeah,
this
I
is
know
not
quite a lot
something
about
you can-
programming, and I know that altering some variables in a system that you've already created should not take that long. You should know where the variables are located. You should know the distance and weight and mass parameters and how to adjust them. You should be able to go into your code and change those pretty damn quickly. Take away the parameters that you have for the planets that are already there. Add the parameters for planets that exist in reality. Put the correct distance parameters in. That shouldn't take too long. If I'm only saying 2 planets and the sun are needed, that's 3 parameters to change. 6 in total with the distance. Then make the correct orbits happen under your linear function. That should not take very long. Anyone that understands programming should understand that a system already created should not take long to adjust some variables.
Well, it would. I've spent months fine tuning this system. Do you
Yeah.
understand that?
So you spent months fine-tuning the system, so you should know how to adjust some variables relatively quickly, correct?
These arguments are coming from a place of ignorance about how GDScript and C# actually work. Yeah,
So what
Can
you're
you-
saying
can
is
you
that
tell
you
me-
can't do it. That's fine. If you can't do it, it's not, you don't have to be embarrassed about it. You can just say, no, I can't do that. I don't have those skills.
Can you tell me what a method is or what a floating point is if you know so much about programming?
If you don't have those skills, it's fine. You can just say that.
This is a bad faith argument, my friend.
No, it's not. You are
I
claiming
think it
that you can recreate the exact solar system that we have using only a linear function of gravity, which I know is impossible. The maths wouldn't work. Simply would
It
not
does.
function.
Allow me to send you my gravity function that I use. It's a simple function.
Whatever the
let's-
gravity function is, it would not recreate the solar system that we have. It would not work.
That's
Our
a
solar system
presupposition.
works on a function of square distance. It couldn't
Okay,
work
well-
any other way to function like our solar system does.
Allow me to send you the gravity function, and we'll watch you just deny that as well with no basis. Okay.
But send me your entire source code, and we'll have a look.
Okay.
So you say this is your intellectual property. What are you going to do with it? Why are you worried about other people seeing it?
I'm making it into a spaceflight simulator. It's been my project for about 5
Making it
years.
into a space flight simulator.
Yes.
What, like, I don't know, Kerbal Space Program that uses FG equals GM1 M2 over R squared?
Well, actually, if you know how Kerbal Space Program works, it actually
Well, when you add the
uses-
mod for to change the approximations to more accurate ones, yeah, like my subscriber earlier, instead of just using the initial one that it does. So instead of it adds you can add realistic end body gravitation instead of patched conic approximations. It's not hard.
Well, Kerbal Space Program doesn't use M-body. It uses two-body.
No, it uses end body.
Well, on the player, yes, but between the
Yeah.
planets, it's two-body.
But you're the player.
Right, but we're talking about celestial mechanics here. We're not talking about aerospace engineering and
We
and
certainly
flight.
are talking about aerospace engineering. You're talking about Kerbal Space Program.
You're a master of moving goalposts, my friend.
I didn't move any goalposts. You're the one that has refused to show me evidence that the Earth is flat. Okay, now let's assume that your simulation is accurate and can replace Newtonian and Einsteinian gravity, right? Fantastic. Those planets were
You
round.
don't need- Look, it's simple. Look at this very simple function.
No, dude, did you not just listen to what I said?
Look at this simple function.
Why are
here.
you moving the goalposts?
I'm not. I'm
You are
giving you my
avoiding
original
the
evidence.
argument, right? Listen to
Yeah.
what I've just said. Listen to what I have said. Very fucking simple. Let's just assume that your simulation is correct, and it can absolutely just replace Newtonian and Einsteinian gravity, and we've been completely wrong and you're right, and it's a linear function and not a squared one, right? Let's just assume that's correct for a second. Great, good job. Those planets were still round.
We don't need to assume.
Let's just assume that it's correct. Right?
But we don't need to.
No, I'm going to let's just assume that it's correct. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Those
You can calm down.
planets were still.
calm down, please?
Those planets were still.
You can't-
Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Those planets were still round.
You need to calm down. You need
Listen
to be
to the
level-headed about
words coming out of my mouth. Those planets were still round, not
That's moving
flat.
the goalpost. You've just moved the goalpost, my friend.
No, this is a flat Earth debate, and that is what we are talking about.
Well,
And I have
flat Earth
just
is a
said
general
to
term.
you, let's just assume that you are correct for 2 minutes. Let's play along with your crazy notion that you can replace gravity. Right? Brilliant. Good job. Those planets were round. This is a debate about evidence of the Earth being flat. Why are you showing round planets?
What's got you so worked up?
Why are you showing round planets?
You have anger problems. No wonder
Why
have an
are you
assault
showing...
conviction.
I'm going to ask you once more, and then I'm just going to boot you if you don't engage in the conversation. Why, if you are trying to show the Earth is flat, does your simulation include round planets?
Because it's assuming that I'm demonstrating the globe model, the heliocentric or barycentric, if you want to be specific, model.
No, I'm asking for evidence that the Earth is flat. That's what this debate is. You are a flat earther. You are here to present evidence the Earth is flat. Why are you showing me round planets?
Because I'm showing you the barycentric or heliocentric model. And it's
Right.
proving it.
Are you fucking mad? Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Why are
You
you mad?
are a flat earther. Your job here is to show me the Earth is flat.
I
Flat.
did that at the beginning.
No, you didn't. You said a thing and it didn't mean anything, right? But right now, you are showing me round planets. That does not show the Earth is flat. Why are you doing that?
Because I'm showing that the Newtonian gravity function can be replaced with any number of functions and still work. That's essentially disproving it.
That is not showing the Earth is flat. Even if you were right, which you're not, it does not show the Earth is flat. Those planets in your simulation, were they round or were they flat?
None of the planets were Earth.
Those planets in your simulation, were they round or were they flat?
They were approximately spherical, if you want to be specific.
They were approximately what? Spherical?
Spherical.
Yeah, that's not what you said, but okay. Yes, so they were not flat. You are here to give evidence of the Earth being flat, yet you show a simulation of round planets, you fucking moron.
Is that
I'm
supposed
going to
be
ignore your simulation right now until I get the source code. Every single bit of it, right? Because I just don't believe you. Because you've been shown to be a liar, right? And we are going to continue the discussion about the Earth being flat. Now, if you want some evidence that it is round and rotating, very, very simple. The Foucault's pendulum experiment, which is performed thousands of times a year, is a direct consequence of the rotating Earth and the forces imparted because of it. The predictions of a rotating Earth of the mass and size that we say will impart the forces that are measurable with a Foucault's pendulum. It says, the prediction says that you can use Foucault's sine law to calculate your latitude on Earth due to the due to the Coriolis forces being imparted. That only happens if the Earth is rotating. I have done this experiment myself. It's done thousands of times a year and works when set up correctly. It matches the predictions of a rotating globe. Therefore, the Earth is a rotating globe.
Allow me. Listen, you've asked me again and again. You've been so interested in this evidence that I have, and you've now changed the goalpost.
It wasn't any evidence that the Earth is flat.
And you haven't published it. I've given you my source code, and you haven't put it up because you know that it proves that I'm
Where
right.
have you given me the source code?
I've given you the gravity function that I use. Put it up.
That's not the source code.
And you'll see what I have to say.
That's not the source code. But again, right. So you just ignored everything that I just said. I just gave you evidence that the Earth is in fact a rotating globe. Right? We're done with your simulation until I've got the entire source code. Until then, it doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't mean anything in this debate anyway, because it didn't show that the Earth is flat, which is the title of this debate. Flat Earth debate. You did not show a flat Earth, right? So that's a separate debate. It's a separate debate about you not understanding gravity, which we can have once I've seen your source code. Okay? But right now, we're talking about the Earth being a globe, rotating in space, or flat. You have not provided any evidence for your case. I have just given you evidence for my case, and I can show you the experiment being performed if you would like. That's not necessary, but I would like you to respond to the Foucault's pendulum experiment being evidence of a rotating globe.
If I give you my source code, how do I know you'll give it
I
back?
would like you to respond to the evidence of the Earth being a rotating globe. That is the title of this debate, and you gave your bit of evidence and you failed. Then you showed nothing to do with flat Earth, so I have now provided you with evidence that the Earth is in fact a rotating globe. Engage with the conversation. I will give you one more chance, then I will ban you forever.
Oh, is that supposed to amuse me, little boy?
Do you want to give evidence that the Earth... do you want to respond to my evidence that the Earth is a globe? Or are you going to show that you're a coward and not actually engage in the conversation and just get banned forever like the little bitch that you are?
Oh.
Come on. Respond to what I've just said. You have 20 seconds to at least attempt to respond. If you can't, you're gay.
Foucault's pendulum, okay?
Yes.
If that's the pendulum that like slowly changes its direction of swinging, right? As supposedly rotates. Correct?
The drift of the pendulum diverts from its initial plane in relation to your latitude on Earth. And you use the Foucault sine law to calculate your latitude based on the angle and the time over which that angle was created. And it matches the physics of a rotating globe and Coriolis forces being applied. It is exactly what you predict will happen, so you test it, and then it happens.
How do we know that this drift isn't just the natural swing, perturbing?
Because it goes clockwise when you're in the northern hemisphere and counterclockwise when you're in the southern hemisphere, and it does a different amount depending on where you are. If it was just natural perturbance, then it would be a fucking coincidence that you could calculate your latitude from the results of the experiment every time, wouldn't it?
I mean, I've only seen a Foucault's pendulum in the planetarium of Utah in the northern hemisphere. I've never been to the south, so I can't actually verify that for you.
I have, and I can verify it for you. I don't care if you believe it happens or not. There is thousands and thousands of peer-reviewed articles, videos, and more documentation of Foucault's pendulums being performed all over the Earth. And every single time when they're set up correctly, they do what we expect them to do. It matches the predictions. It's how we do science, Alex. We do science by making an observation, forming a hypothesis, creating a prediction from that hypothesis, testing that prediction with an experiment, and then analysing the data. And when we follow those steps, we find that a Foucault's pendulum matches what the hypothesis of a rotating Earth gives us. So, what is your rebuttal to the fact that it does exactly what we expect it to do on a rotating Earth? And how would it do what it's doing if the Earth is in fact flat and stationary?
Okay, I actually have a rebuttal for this. But I need a promise that you'll allow me to fully explain it before you shout over me like a little man.
I will give you no such promise, child.
Well,
you can just try your best.
If you're going to interrupt me halfway through, then what's the point?
Just get on with it. Stop crying.
Okay. Okay. So, you know, when you're spinning, if you move your mass towards the edge, you'll spin slower, and if you move it in, you'll spin faster. Correct?
If you move your mass towards the edge of what?
The edge of the edge compared to the axis of rotation, like away from the center of the axis of rotation.
What?
Like, say you're on a roundabout. If you sit on the edge, it will rotate slower, and if you move to the center, it will rotate faster. It's a very known principle.
Oh, you mean like an ice skater bringing their arms in to spin faster?
Well,
yes, that explains why the Earth
principle.
is rotating in the first place. Yes, but yeah, carry on.
Well,
do you know why that happens? Out of interest, do you know the phenomenon that is called?
I asked you to allow me to make my point.
You asked me a question, so I'm just engaging in conversation.
Listen, if you're in the northern hemisphere, i.e. closer to the North Pole on the center of a flat disk, that means the rotation will be slightly faster than the pendulum. And if you're towards the edge, where it's rotating slower due to the principle we've just described, the pendulum
but the flat Earth isn't rotating, though. The flat Earth is stationary.
I believe that the flat Earth spins around a central axis pointing directly above the northern pole.
Okay, then the Foucault's pendulum completely disproves that, because the centrifugal acceleration would be greater the further away you got from the center every single time, meaning at the south you would have the absolute greatest centrifugal acceleration, which is not the case, because in fact at the south and the north the centrifugal acceleration is much less and you actually weigh more because of that, where there's greater centrifugal acceleration at the equator, meaning you weigh less because there's a counter force going in the opposite direction to the gravitational acceleration. So, no, that would not work in the slightest. In fact, it would do the exact opposite of what the pendulum shows us. The pendulum shows us that the longitudes, in fact, shrink as we go towards both the north and the south. Your hypothesis would mean that they would get bigger and bigger and bigger, meaning a different drift to what we experience on Earth, completely different in the north and the south. Sorry, that's physics for you. I'm showing
That's
everyone
it.
your gravity function, by the way, and they're kind of laughing.
See how it's just the length of the vector and not the square of the length?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yes, we're seeing it. So anyway, yeah, what you said does not debunk Foucault's pendulum, and the fact that you can calculate your latitude on Earth using it. Do you want to try again?
I think what I've explained actually lines up quite well. And
Well,
in
no, it
response,
doesn't,
you've given
because
me-
what you explained would mean that the North would have the greatest centrifugal acceleration. Sorry, the South would have the greatest centrifugal acceleration, and the North would have 0. That's not what we experience on Earth. The centrifugal acceleration at the North and the South is exactly the same. None. Whereas
you
the
been to the
equator has
South?
the greatest centrifugal acceleration, and this is measured, so it's not even debatable, right?
Oh.
It does not match with what you have just said.
As a scientist, I believe everything's
You are
debatable.
not a scientist. Do not lie.
Are you a scientist?
Much more than you, but neither of us are scientists.
How can you be much more of a scientist if neither of us are?
Just because I understand science and you don't, but neither of us are scientists. I'm closer to a scientist than you, but neither of us are scientists.
I believe that I'm an independent scientist, and we're often accused
You
of
can
not being
believe that all you
scientists at
want.
all.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't make it true.
I
Just to
believe
be
it does,
clear,
and
I am not,
reality
just so
is-
everyone knows, I'm not a programmer, and I don't claim to be a programmer. I kind of basically understand things that go
You
on.
claimed to be a programmer multiple times about half
No,
an
I
hour
said that
ago.
I understand basic programming. I never claimed to be a programmer, and everyone knows that I'm not a programmer, but I understand a lot of basic stuff. I'm not a programmer, and I would never claim to be a programmer, just so everyone
not-
understands that.
Pull up a clip of him saying he was a programmer.
No, I
half
said
an
I
hour ago.
understand programming. But anyway, that was to the audience, not to you.
I must have Alzheimer's then.
Well, I'm pretty sure you do.
Runs in the family, actually. But not this early. I'm too young.
So anyway, what you explained, I've just told you why what you explained is wrong and how it would actually do the reverse of what we experience on Earth. So it's not a rebuttal. Do you want to try again?
Well, I would argue that you haven't actually entertained my hypothesis far enough for it to be thoroughly
I
refuted.
did. It's debunked straight away by the fact that in reality there is not a higher centrifugal acceleration at the South. That debunks your claim instantly.
That's
I
hearsay.
don't need to entertain it any further because reality debunks it instantly. The premise is incorrect. We don't need to move further.
That's hearsay, though. I mean, where are your numbers?
Where are my numbers about the fact that there is less centrifugal acceleration at the South? Okay, so we can look at Critical Think's experiment he did when he went to Antarctica and tested the centrifugal acceleration compared to Australia and Antarctica, showing that it in fact decreased. This is widely known, and there's many papers that I could point you to that show that the centrifugal acceleration at the North and the South is 0, and at the equator is 0.03 meters per second squared.
Where are the numbers for that?
Any peer-reviewed papers, I could give you lots, but I've just told you where you can find them. Critical Think's experiment when he went to Antarctica. You can find it on Critical Think's YouTube channel.
You should have come prepared. Where are the papers?
Again, you can just find them on Critical. You can find the experiment on Critical Think's YouTube channel. Anybody can go there.
Bring it up then.
I don't need to. You can go and look at it yourself. I've just told you where you can get the evidence.
Right.
If you would like to test the evidence yourself, the evidence is available for you to see.
But this isn't a one-on-one discussion. We have audience
I've just
members.
told you where you can find the evidence of the fact that there is less centrifugal acceleration at the poles than further north. That's less at the South Pole than further north. There's many papers showing this, many measurements of centrifugal acceleration and Coriolis forces. Also, it's why hurricanes don't cross the equator, because the Coriolis force at the equator is basically 0. So there's plenty of evidence for you to go and see, but mainly if you want to find the evidence specifically of this claim, you can look at Critical Think's YouTube channel. That is where the evidence is. Please feel free to peruse it in your own time if you doubt me.
Calm down. We have an audience.
I've just told you where you can find it, so please feel free to peruse it in your own time.
You should present it to me and the audience, because we're not all going to go there. You understand that? Like,
Sorry, say that again.
People watching. Like,
I wasn't listening to you. I was reading the chat.
And the audience. You need to present it to me and the audience, because
no, the audience are more than they can go to Critical Think's YouTube channel. In fact, my audience have seen it many times. And if you would like to see the experiment, you can either go to the Final Experiment YouTube channel or to Critical Think's YouTube channel to look at the experiment yourself. I don't need to show it to you right now. I've explained to you what the experiment is. Well, okay, I will explain to you what it is. He has a test mass of a known mass, and he weighs it at one place. And then he weighs it at another place and shows that the mass changes because the centrifugal acceleration changes. The experiment itself is available to view on Critical Think's YouTube channel. I don't need to show you the video right now because you are capable of going to YouTube yourself.
I am on YouTube right now, talking to you.
Yes, well, in your own time, you are welcome to go to Critical Think's YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, I will, in my own time.
Yes.
But if you're going to bring it up as a point in this thing, we have to review it together, live.
No, otherwise, I've reviewed it many times. It'd probably be better if you review it in your own time. I can show you the video, but it's not going to change anything. I could point you to 1,010 different peer-reviewed papers about centrifugal acceleration measurements if you want. Are you going to go through each of them now with me? No, that's not necessary. You can look at the evidence in your own time. The evidence is there. I've told you where to find it.
I believe you that these papers exist, but if you're not willing to put them on the stream, then it's a moot point.
No, it's not a moot point. They still exist whether I show them or not.
Yes, but this is a debate. You're meant to be convincing people one way or the other.
Yes, and I've just told people where they can find the information to look for themselves. That should help them be convinced. Guys, watching this, if you would like to pause the video, if you're watching this live or even afterwards, please pause the video and go to Critical Think's YouTube channel, where he has a series of videos showing the experiments he performed in Antarctica. That will allow you to understand the context behind which we're talking about. I've explained it to Alex, so he's apparently got an IQ of 160, so he should be able to understand without seeing the video, unless he's like an iPad baby that needs to have the visuals. That's just, I guess, I don't know. Bill Tetley for $5 says, I did the corny proposal and did it in front of Cinderella's castle at Disneyland. Nice. Now, when I was proposing to my wife and we were waiting outside my friend's house for the party, it was like pissing down with rain, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it now. Just got down on one knee. It was brilliant. Dihydrogen monoxide for £2 says, odds that he has a partner, I'll go with 10 to the negative 17. Jubilee says, it's been a member for 14 months, says he's in the process of inserting the mic up his ass. Yeah, your mic skills are not good.
Mr. Earth, you were so eager to see my evidence, so why am I not allowed to see yours? Is it because it doesn't exist?
I've just told you where... I encourage you to look at the evidence. Please, feel free. Once we have finished talking, go and look at the evidence yourself. I've told you what the evidence is. I've explained it to you in detail. You don't need to also see a video of the thing I've explained. It's unnecessary. If you want to watch it in your own time, you're more than welcome. I've told you what's included in it. I've literally spoken the words and explained the visuals for you. The video itself is unnecessary at this time.
Mr. FTFE, if you wanted me to program an entire simulation instantly, why can't you just bring up some papers instantly? It's a double standard, mate.
I can. I'm just not going to because you can feel free to do it in your own time. I'm controlling the stream, I'm making a bong, I'm having a drink, and I'm waiting for you to give any evidence at all that the Earth is flat. I've also been researching your gravity function, and there's many problems with it.
What's there to research is one equation.
Well,
it's literally x over y. It's that simple. What's there to research?
Well, I mean, it's all you've done is like remove astronomical values like mass, and it includes much less realism than you would
it's
actually
using
get
the
with
standard
a
gravitational
realistic
parameter.
spacey gravity.
It
It's
uses the
more
standard
sticky
gravitational
and
parameter.
dramatic at long ranges. It doesn't do the same as what we have. It's a different explanation of gravity, a different function of gravity that wouldn't work because it doesn't match reality. It doesn't do the things that it does that we would see in reality. It gives a much slower fall off, which means gravity stays stronger over distance, so you wouldn't get the large amount of distance between bodies that we get in reality. It's stronger when closer, which is going to be a much bigger problem. It couldn't ever match what we have in reality. It's kind of what video games tend to use to make gameplay feel more sticky and dramatic at long ranges, but it doesn't include any astronomical mass values and includes much less realism. So, yeah. And to be clear, right? To be clear, there are lots of people that can program video games, right? Lots of them. None of that proves that the Earth is flat. Apparently, that function that you've used, they actually use that in No Man's Sky. So good job. Right? It's not something you've made up. That's the same function they use in their fake planets and their sticky short orbits in No Man's Sky.
Are you using ChatGPT as a reason for you?
I will tell you for a fact that none of those planets were flat. And this is a flat Earth debate, so your entire simulation is irrelevant. Right. So, I've explained to you Foucault's pendulum. I've told you where to find the evidence specifically. Explain the mechanics behind it. So, can you debunk the fact that it can tell you your latitude on Earth due to the forces imparted?
I don't believe a Foucault's pendulum can do that.
Well, it does. I've done it myself.
Okay. Prove it. Prove that you did that.
I've got a physics degree. I've got a physics degree. That's how you prove it. If you get a physics degree, doing Foucault's, no, it's not. That's not an appeal to authority. That's not how that works. Having a physics degree shows that I did that experiment because it is part of the physics degree. You don't pass your physics course unless you do that experiment. And appeal to authority is not appealing to experts. That's not how that works. If I was to appeal to authority, it would be something like to say, well, the king told me it was true, therefore it's true. Not, these experts in the field explained why it's true. That is not an appeal to authority.
One is martial authority, the other's academic authority. They're both fallacies.
No, it's not an authority. It's not a fallacy in the slightest to appeal to experts.
Well, scientists can be wrong, so I don't believe it's the correct way of thinking.
Have you got any evidence that they're wrong? Because all scientists disagree. Every single scientist in the world disagrees with you about Foucault's pendulum.
I'm an independent scientist, and
You're not an actual scientist. You're just lying and saying you're a scientist. Every single scientist with qualifications, every single person in the world with a degree in physics, every single expert in Coriolis forces agrees with me and disagrees with you. Do you have any evidence that they are wrong and you're right, other than you just saying, I disagree?
I've asked you to bring some numbers for us to talk over, but you've refused. You have a talent
Answer the question. Please, right, stop moving the goalpost and answer the question. Do you have any reason to debunk all of the experts in the world that disagree with you about Foucault's pendulum? Because every single physicist in the world, every single one of them, says that you are wrong about Foucault's pendulum. So what evidence do you have that Foucault's pendulum does not show that the Earth is rotating according to the Coriolis forces imparted? What evidence do you have that it's incorrect, that you can calculate your latitude on Earth using it? I can show you an experiment being done with it on the Gentleman Physicist's YouTube channel if you like. So can you debunk it?
The burden of proof is with the positive claim.
Yeah, again, right, the evidence is there. The burden is met.
Give me the evidence then. That's what I've been asking for.
Do you want me to show you a video of it being done?
Sure. If there's
Right,
numbers
we
and
can just go
figures,
to the Gentleman Physicist YouTube channel, no problem, where there is the Foucault's pendulum being done. But all you're doing right now is denying that a well-known and repeated experiment is not done. Right? That is just denialism. It is done all of the time, whether you like it or not. I've got the video up and I'm going to show it in a second, but it doesn't matter if I show it or not, because all of my audience have seen it and you can watch it at any time. If you go to the Gentleman Physicist YouTube channel and watch the video called Foucault's Pendulum, watch the world turn, you will see a Foucault's Pendulum doing what we predict it to do thanks to the rotation of Earth. Okay? It's there. It doesn't matter if I show it or not, it's still there. So before I show it, do you have an explanation as to how we are able to calculate our latitude using a Foucault's pendulum?
you're once again deferring me to do things after the discussion, so that
No,
when I
I'm
realise
just
that it's
asking
wrong,
you if you
wait.
have an explanation on a flat Earth how a Foucault's pendulum is able to calculate your latitude, and that it shows less at the north and less at the south, the centrifugal acceleration, and less Coriolis at the equator. Do you have any explanation for that before I show the video? Which I will show any second. I'm just asking if you have a flat Earth explanation.
Yes, I've already given it to you. The centrifugal force.
Well,
Flat
yeah, but
disk.
I've explained how that's wrong, because at the south it would mean you have the most centrifugal acceleration, and I can show you the paper done by the scientists in Antarctica that performed Foucault's pendulum, and it rotated once in a day, which matches the the exact predictions of the globe and goes against what you said, because yours would make it rotate about 4 times a day if there was that much extra centrifugal acceleration. But anyway, right, here is the video of it happening, and we're able to calculate your latitude. So,
swing long enough. You'll
I'll talk through what he's doing. Right, he's just explaining it. He's explaining the concept of it through all this point. Well, let me get it so my stream can actually see as well. 1 second.
This is some good old-fashioned independent science I can see going on here.
He doesn't claim to be a scientist. Right, so
Well, he's doing
just doing an
observations
experiment for fun. I mean, but he is actually a scientist. But anyway, so he's set up this pendulum in the stairwell of a high-rise building that he lives in, right? And he has hold on, make sure that I've got the right screen showing for everybody. There we go. So, right, and he's got it attached with a string that he burns to start it swinging, right? And it starts swinging backwards and forwards, and it's got a brush on the bottom which goes through this ink pad. There we go. Swings, draws a line as it swings, right? And they left it for as long as they could. So it swang, and it swang, until they got this drift. And then what they did was they measured the angle that they got. Right, it's turning clockwise, which means that they're in the northern hemisphere, because you do it in the southern hemisphere, it goes the other way, which I will show you a paper of in a minute. And then they measured the angle. After 0.688 hours, it moved 7.89 degrees. Now what they have to do is apply Foucault's sine law, and doing that, first of all, you get the period of rotation, so it would take 31.4 hours to rotate based on that. And
Where's
then
the
you
time lapse?
Sorry?
Where's the time lapse? Oh, I see a jump cuts.
Okay, cool. Go and ask him for the full video. It doesn't matter. The science doesn't matter if there's full recordings of it or not. So he measures the angle, and
I think it does matter.
no, it doesn't. Just shut up. He measures the angle, and then he uses the Foucault's sine law to calculate his latitude on Earth, latitude equals the arc sine divided by 24 hours times the 24 hours divided by the period of rotation, and you can calculate your latitude on Earth. And considering the extremely crude experimentation method he got, considering he had an error of 1.4%, that's pretty fucking good. Damn near close to exactly where he is, and this experiment's done all over the world many, many times, showing that you can use Foucault's pendulum to calculate your latitude on the planet. There it is being done, matching the prediction of the globe. What is the flat Earth explanation for it? Bearing in mind that I also have a paper from the South Pole that shows that there wouldn't be a much greater centrifugal acceleration at the south.
This video has been cut and spliced to hell. I need a time lapse, otherwise I'm not going to believe it.
Who cares? Science doesn't need a full uncut video. That is not what determines whether it's science or not.
Well, it needs to be robust. I mean...
well, if you don't believe him, then the way to do it is to do the experiment yourself, not just to go, nuh-uh.
Have you done it?
Yes, I've done the Foucault's pendulum, yeah.
Okay, show it to me.
No, I didn't record my physics degree over 20 years ago.
So you have no evidence?
I have plenty of evidence, the fact that I have a physics degree.
That's an argument from authority.
No, it's not. You get the physics degree by doing the Foucault's pendulum. It's not an argument from authority. You don't have a physics degree if you haven't done Foucault's pendulum.
Still an argument from authority if you don't have the numbers.
No, it's not an argument from authority. It is a factual statement. You do not get a degree in physics if you have not done Foucault's pendulum. That's not a fallacy of any kind. That is just a statement of fact.
I think it's an argument from authority because
I don't care whether you think it's an argument from authority, and even if you do think it's an argument from authority, that's called a fallacy, where you are trying to dismiss an argument because of a perceived fallacy in the argument. Just because an argument may be fallacious does not mean it is incorrect. It's not fallacious, and it's not incorrect. All right, so let me just get the South Pole paper to show you, so that you can I can debunk your claim of it being greater acceleration. South Pole Foucault's pendulum.
Mr. McNeil, in what unit of that degree, of that course, did you do Foucault's pendulum?
I did it in like the first 3 months.
Yeah, but what unit?
I can't even remember. I said it 20 plus years ago. Right, South Pole Foucault pendulum.
Oh, you over that one, eh? You lied about being a physicist as well? You lied about
I've never said I'm a physicist. I have a physics degree, a degree which I did over 20 years ago. And I do not remember the name of the modules. Right, so here we have, let me get this up for everyone so they can see.
That's awfully suspicious, mate.
Of course it is, not remembering names of modules from 20 plus years ago. And in fact, I didn't do a normal degree with most people. I was, after the first 6 months, I joined the military, where they put me on a fast track to finish my first degree so that I could then get my degree in nuclear engineering. So anyway, let me put this up so people can see.
Company gave me an IQ test when I was a child, so that's a bit hypocritical, don't you think?
Well, you would very much remember who gave you IQ tests and stuff at the age of 13. That would be something that would be ingrained in your memory. However, the names of specific modules in a degree I did over 20 years ago is not something that is stuck in my brain, considering at the time I was training to be a nuclear engineer. Right, so let me show you this. Share your screen. This is just to debunk your claim about the greater centrifugal acceleration at the south. This is a team of scientists who went to the South Pole and did the Foucault's pendulum experiment. And the conclusion was the period of rotation 24 hours, then it blah, blah, blah. And they got exactly what they should do. Relative looking down at the South Pole every 20 minutes as expected. The pendulum's period is independent of the weight. The bob was performed a variety of weights until one was found to give consistent results. And the results showed that it span... Where we got the actual... We've demonstrated physical phenomena confirming that we're on the axis of rotation on Earth. Although the results matches our hypothesis and nothing new has been discovered, we have placed ourselves among the stars, standing beside Galileo in recognition of our planet and a rotating sphere floating in the heavens. So they did Foucault's pendulum at the South Pole, getting the exact measurements of, what you would expect to get at the South Pole with a period of rotation being 24 hours, which debunks your claim of there being much more centrifugal acceleration at the south compared to everywhere else. Right, so now knowing that I have debunked your attempted debunk, can you please explain how we're able to calculate our latitude on Earth using a Foucault's pendulum?
Because of the centrifugal force.
I just debunked that. No, I literally just debunked that and explained why I've debunked it. So you can't use that argument.
I can, because I don't believe your debunk was sufficient.
Sorry, I've just shown you the scientific paper.
Where's the video? It's just pictures.
Sorry, science doesn't have to... Are you claiming that science is only science when there's a video?
Well, it has to be an irrefutable evidence. And all I
so
see here
what
is
about before video was made? Was there no experiments that were irrefutable then? That's not how it works, okay? You don't just get to claim it's fake. If you don't believe it, you have to go and test it. You don't just get to dismiss it because that is dishonest. Right? It's not a way to have a debate. I don't believe it. I don't believe that happened, even though you show me the experiment. I don't believe that it happened, even though you show me the results. I don't believe it happened. I don't care if you don't believe it. That doesn't change that it's there. If you don't believe it, go to Antarctica and test it yourself.
In the modern era, standards of evidence have increased. Okay.
I'm sorry, but no, there is nowhere in science that says you have to have a video. Maybe they, as they were in the South Pole, they were limited on the technology that they could take with them, and they didn't have anything that could make a video. Because you do know that going to the South Pole, you are limited in what you can take, right? But if you do not trust them, if you think it's fake, then it is your burden to go and repeat the experiment. No one else's but yours. No one else's but yours. Let me get this clear. It is your burden. No, shut up, I'm talking. It is your burden to go and test. Shut up, I'm talking. I'll let you know, little girl, when you can talk, okay? It is your burden, Alex, to test it if you don't believe it. Just saying, I don't believe it, means you're a fucking idiot.
Do you know why you can't take phones with you to Antarctica? Because they don't want you to know, obviously. You've just admitted it.
Actually, there's a bunch of people I know that did take phones to Antarctica. So, I mean...
So then why didn't these people take a recording device?
Maybe they had other equipment that meant that they didn't have that weight, But again, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If you don't believe it, go and test it yourself. That's how science is done, right? Most science, you just do a fucking paper. There's no videos, there's no pictures. It's just a paper. And for people to test it, to say they don't believe it, they have to test it first. You can't just say I don't believe it, because that is intellectually dishonest. So if you don't believe it, then go to Antarctica yourself. You can go to Antarctica. I can give you the details of how to get there.
Did you know that a pilot was recently arrested flying into Antarctica?
Yeah, because he didn't follow his flight plan, which is illegal. Flying planes has rules.
Because he saw something. He was en route to see something he wasn't meant to see.
No, that's not true. He landed somewhere where he wasn't supposed to land. It was outside of his flight plan. When you are in a plane, when you are flying a plane, wherever you are in the world, there are rules that you have to follow. One of those rules is you submit a flight plan and you stick to that flight plan. If you don't, you get arrested. It doesn't matter if you go to Antarctica, to New York, to London. If you don't follow your flight plan, when you get landed, you will be arrested.
Right, because if he flew any quote-unquote further south than he should have, he would have seen something he wasn't meant to.
Have you got any evidence of that?
Yes, well, that's kind of this whole discussion, isn't it? Yeah,
no, have you got any evidence of that apart from just saying it?
Yes.
What evidence? Show me the evidence that if he flew further south, he would have seen something else. Because he wasn't trying to fly further south. He landed where he intended to. He just lied about where he was going.
It was an emergency landing, so there's no actual legal reason he should have been arrested for an emergency landing.
It wasn't just an emergency landing. It was he was away from where he was supposed to be, outside of his flight path, and then he had to land somewhere because that was the only place available. But he was only there. He was only at that place because he went outside of his flight plan. That's why he was arrested.
Read the report. That's not
Yeah,
true.
the report literally says that he went outside of his flight plan, got into trouble because of him being outside of his flight plan, had to land in a place where he wasn't supposed to land, and then got arrested because he didn't follow his flight plan. The same thing would have happened if he was trying to fly from, I don't know, New York to London, and he had a problem and had to stop over at Iceland because he decided to take a detour and look at the scenery in Greenland, right? If he did that, he would get in trouble because he went away from his flight plan and then got in trouble and had to land somewhere he wasn't supposed to. He would get in trouble for that. He would get arrested wherever he was. Flying a plane has rules.
Yes, but him being deviated from his flight path was not any wrongdoing on his part.
Yes, it was. He deviated from his flight path. He got in trouble because he went to a place where it wasn't on his flight path. It was bad weather, somewhere his plane couldn't cope. He chose to deviate from his flight path. That wasn't an accident. He purposely didn't tell people where he was going. He said, I'm going this way, and then went a different way.
Right. Do you understand the difference between intentional and unintentional trespass?
Again, he went off of his flight path on purpose. The only reason he ended up where he was because he didn't follow his flight plan. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was an accident that then made him land. He purposely didn't follow the flight plan. He said he was going one way and went another way.
Just read the report.
I have read the report many, many times because I found it very interesting that flat earthers keep throwing it at me. So I've had to explain to them how there's rules when you fly, and if you do what he did, which was not go where he said he was going, you're going to get in trouble.
Do you know why there were rules?
Yes, because flying's dangerous, and if you get in trouble, there has to be people to help you, right? Now, that system requires rules in place so that you're able to be helped efficiently. Flying planes is dangerous. It requires legislation. It requires a license. It requires planning applications. It's like driving a car. If you don't want to follow the rules, you don't get to drive a car. If you don't want to follow the rules of flying planes, you don't get to fly a plane.
Flying is the safest form of travel. Did you know? Fun fact.
Yeah, it's, I'd say submarines are safer.
Well, I think submarines are not psychologically safer than flying.
How many submarines is there in the sky compared to planes in the sea?
That's a malformed question.
It was a joke. I mean, r/whoosh.
It's a malformed question.
Yes, r/whoosh, I understand. Right, I read that one. JSS Tiger for $5 says, like Witsit, he is high on the Dunning-Kruger chart, but not high on the IQ chart. Yeah, I've already explained to you why your centrifugal acceleration answer is wrong. So knowing that it's wrong, do you want to try again? I've given you the evidence. Scientific evidence doesn't have to be irrefutable anyway, it just has to be testable. That's the entire point. You don't just get to say it's fake. No, it doesn't, because science isn't irrefutable. It just has to be testable.
I said reproducible.
I'm pretty sure it is reproducible. Just go to South Pole and reproduce it.
I'm prohibited.
Sorry?
I'm prohibited from doing that.
No, you're not. You can book trips to the South Pole to do that.
Yes, but I'm socioeconomically prohibited.
No, you're not. Just do it.
Well, I don't have £45,000
Well, go and make £45,000 then. Stop complaining.
Okay, that's coming from a definite point of privilege, but okay.
No, just start saving, work, be smart, use stocks. A couple of years, you should have 45 grand.
Wow, if anyone can... You heard it here, guys. That's like free money. Damn. Anyone can get rich. Anyone could be rich and go to the South Pole.
It's not really rich. But, there's finance options available.
Well, like £45,000 to some people is rich, my good friend.
Well, whatever. But the fact is you can go. the reason you're saying you can't is because you can't afford it. That's a you problem. It doesn't mean that it's not reproducible. It's 100% reproducible.
I believe that these socioeconomic factors and barriers are put in place deliberately to stop us from being able to
I
conduct
don't care what
experiments
you
that we
believe. I really do not care what you believe. The fact is, it is reproducible. I know many people that have been to Antarctica. You know how many, some of them got paid to go. Good for them. Some raised the money. You know, do a GoFundMe.
Exactly.
Why don't you?
They got paid.
Why don't you set up? Right, Toon didn't get paid. Toon raised the money himself. Critical Think went into debt to do it. Right. All you've got to do is set up a GoFundMe and advertise it. Work fucking hard every day. Tell people you're going to go to Antarctica. Tell them that if they donate just a little bit, it help. Right? There's ways and means of doing it. If you really want to try and disprove what they've done in Antarctica at the South Pole, then it's your responsibility to do it. Because I don't give a fuck if you just go, I don't believe it. That doesn't mean anything. It can be reproduced. You're just too scared to do it.
So why don't the homeless just buy houses then?
That's not the same, is it? The homeless don't have a start. Do you have money? Do you have a start?
No.
Right? But a lot of the reason why a lot of the reason why homeless don't have houses is because they literally don't want houses. All right, homeless don't need to buy houses. A lot of the there's things in place for homeless to get houses. There's council applications. There's halfway houses. But a lot of homeless people literally choose to be in that situation. It's a very because of whatever the situation is. But being homeless is the best decision for them. I don't own a house. I rent. And I'm with the council, and a lot of homeless people are offered homes with councils and turn them down. So that's a very different thing to talk about. It doesn't change the fact that you, if you put your mind to it, could raise 45 grand and go to Antarctica to test the thing that you are saying is fake. Unless you do that, you do not get to say it is fake.
Why would people choose to live on the street in slums?
Why are you changing the subject?
I'm just refuting something that you said, mate.
Because for some people, that is the best option they have.
Does that make any sense whatsoever?
It doesn't make any sense. I 100% agree. I don't think it will ever make sense. But for them, in the situation they are in, that is the best option they have.
Well, surely the more plausible explanation is that there are socioeconomic factors that are largely out of their control.
A lot of it's not just socioeconomic factors. A lot of it is personality problems. A lot of it is mental health issues. There's much more than just money being involved in people being homeless, but that is a different discussion, and you're running away from the flat earth discussion once again. The fact is, I have given you the evidence that disproves your attempted debunk. Okay? That is the evidence. It's done. I've debunked you. You don't just get to dismiss it because you don't believe it. You have to engage in the conversation, otherwise you're just showing you're intellectually dishonest.
I think I've been more honest than you.
No, you've not been honest in the fucking slightest. I proved at the beginning that you're a liar.
You've lied about being a programmer, and you've lied
I never
about
said I'm a
physics
programmer.
degree. Someone pull up a clip, please.
I've never said that I am specifically a programmer. I said I've done some programming. I understand some basic programming. I'm not a programmer. That's not my job. It's not what I do. I don't program things. Okay? I understand basics about programming. Especially using After Effects and stuff, I kind of have to. But that doesn't change the fact that I have shown that you were a liar straight away with the whole IQ Mensa thing. And then I've shown that you didn't give any evidence for the Earth being flat. You've just made a simulation of round planets. This is the flat Earth debate. You failed there. And then you completely failed to even engage in the conversation of how Foucault's pendulum shows that the Earth is a rotating globe based on the fact that you can calculate your latitude on Earth with an experiment that is done thousands and thousands of times every single year. And I can give you a list of over 1,200 peer-reviewed papers if you like. So, as now I have given evidence and you failed to even attempt to debunk it, so I'm just going to chalk a win up for me there. I'm going to give you another opportunity to give evidence that the Earth is flat. And I want to remind you, showing spherical planets isn't evidence the Earth is flat. Looking at something and saying it looks flat isn't evidence the Earth is flat. So, let's give it one more try, and then we just move on to questions from the audience. Let's give some evidence to me that the Earth is flat. On you go, Poe.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
On you go.
I mean, what was the full sentence there?
I said on
Not
you
sure I
go.
heard you. Okay.
Poe.
So, would you like me to reiterate one of the many flat Earth arguments that you've hand waved away before?
I would just like you to give exclusive evidence of the Earth being flat. Just any of them. Just one.
Okay, well, there's any number of flight trajectories that are conducted that make no sense on a globe.
Show me one.
Okay. Want me to pull it up?
Because they all make perfect sense on the globe. Because flight plans are done in a great circle route. And also, it's not always direct things. There's a certain thing called cabbage, which they have to go to certain airports because of certain rules. There's more people in the north than the south, so most flights from the south also stop in the north as well. And the fact that most of the attempted debunks of flight paths are because they've been transposed onto a Mercator map and don't show the correct route. I've already seen all of these, but please go ahead and show something that's been debunked already.
Oh, pull one up that you think has been debunked.
No, this is your evidence. Just show me one and we'll go through why it's not a problem on the globe.
Okay, you'll have to give me a moment to pull this up.
Yeah, and I want flight names, like the actual flight, path, what the name of the flight is, and I want you to show me the actual flight on the globe that exists in real life, the path that it actually takes, please, and compare that to the path that would be on whatever flat map you choose. And whilst you're doing that, I'll read some super chats. Cryoraptor says for £5, Craig, ask him if the name Erin has any meaning to them. Do you know Erin?
No. Why?
Audience asked. Gary IOW for £5 says, FTFE, it's okay, it's my number. Please someone call it. I have no idea where it is. Guys, Gary needs help finding his phone. Dihydrogen monoxide for £2 says, Alex would fail a blood test. Yes, he would. Gary says for £5, no you don't. I've signed many NDAs in my career as a programmer. Also, I'm a signatory on the Official Secrets Act for the code I've written. Yep. Rosie for $5 says, is he programming in polar coordinates? Can I buy this space game and have a ship called Pocinati, Jupiter 1 or Starship Enterprise? Oh, Dom, I've just been using a bong lately, mate. Docs and Greenlight for $2 says, and FTFE has entered the debate. I know. This guy said, I looked at Summit and my eyes are a measurement thing. Ah. Oh, fucking hilarious. Guys, thank you very much for all the super chats, by the way. How's that evidence coming, Alex? Roger that says for $5, someone with an IQ of 163 wouldn't have an issue producing what you're asking of him. I know. If he had an IQ of 163, it would take him 10 minutes to alter that code. Dihydrogen monoxide for £5 says, the barycenter of the solar system used to be at Earth's location, within 1 kilometre of Craig. I'm not fat anymore. Gary IOW for £10 says, FTF official, you should give me the link. I'd roast this cunt, having designed and built hardware for the MOD and the US DOD and written that code that makes the hardware work. Gary, how about I set up a debate between you and Mr. No Flat Earth Evidence here, and you can destroy him specifically about that? Because I just want to see Flat Earth Evidence, and showing me a simulation with planets that are spherical is not Flat Earth Evidence. Icy Spin 199 says, Lil R is cool and Moon and Raspberry but funny. What now? Anytime today, Alex. Dom the Blade for £2 says, my left testicle has a higher IQ than this fool. Rosie says, for $2, I'm an unqualified psychologist. Alex is a genius. How's it going, Alex?
I've just found that I've had all of my evidence for this specific claim cached on the Gem Panda server, which I was banned from. So I would have to get back in there, even just temporarily. Or maybe I could create an alter.
None of it was stored on your PC. You didn't have any of the images stored on your PC. They were simply only stored in the cache on the Discord server. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
On your phone or on your PC?
Actually, I could check my phone.
Yeah, so you open your gallery and you press the down button and select Discord, and it will show you all media that has ever been put in Discord. Fuck's sake. Let's go. Brandon says $1.99. Show us verifiable evidence of flat Earth. Alex. I know, Alex doesn't have any. Rosie for $20. Chat, reply here with your new career/professional title. Independent scientist. Recreational mammographer. Unqualified brain surgeon. Cunning linguist. Whatever. Craig Reed highlighted replies to. Oh, I didn't see any. Oh, wait, hold on. How do I go into the replies for that? Oh, I can't see the replies. Kango 4457 says, for $5 New Zealand dollars, Craig, please stop saying you're an expert in VFX. You know working in VFX. Do some stuff in After Effects. I know. Icy Spin 199 says, spectroscopy also needs a container or a potato. Alex, does spectroscopy need a container or a potato? Alex is gone. PJ $2 says no and then for another $2, no video not happened, derp. Monkey Cat Pat $2 says, hi, I'm Craig and the word of the day is fart. Bob Knoll for $5, no video, didn't happen. Video, you didn't take it yourself, took it yourself, you only did it once. Did it multiple times? You're lying. I know, aren't flat earthers adorable? Icy Spin says industrial nerd war it better. I think Alex is busy eating his microphone. Andrea Zeldich for 26 says, may we have some flat earth evidence, please? Never going to happen.
Okay, how about this? If you'd like to continue the discussion.
Oh, you're back, are you?
Yes. Sorry, I had to use the lavatory again.
Oh, you didn't even let me know. Okay. That was rude. I was trying to talk to you and everything, but, you know.
You said you wouldn't let me last time, so I don't know what you expected.
Permission. You should ask permission. Anyway, yeah, so evidence that Earth is flat, please?
Yes, gladly, yes. So, planes, aeroplanes, do they have gyroscopes on board? Do planes have gyroscopes on board?
Not physical ones, no, not modern ones. They have like digital gyroscopes, laser gyroscopes.
Right, so...
Usually 3, one for yaw, pitch and roll. And they're so accurate they can actually measure the Earth's rotation and the plane's orientation relative to the Earth. Also, they nicely pick up the rotation of Earth at 15 degrees per hour. But yeah, sorry, your point?
So planes, they have a gyroscope, right? That means that as they naturally move along a straight line, they have to compensate for the ground curving away underneath them, or the ocean, depending on their specific position.
No, they don't have to compensate. Why would they have to compensate? They just match the forces needed. Once you've matched the forces of gravity, thrust, drag and weight, then the plane's just going to naturally follow the curve of the Earth. Your point?
Well, if a plane's if a plane's flying along a straight path, it's going to end when the Earth goes away underneath. It's going to end up in fucking Hellenheim. So like,
no, again,
needs-
the planes fly because they have a balance of forces. The atmosphere has different layers of density. So let's say it's in a particular level of density, it then makes the engine of the thrust a certain amount so that it balances the forces. So that you got thrust, drag, gravity, and lift. Those are the four forces that you need to balance. And once that's balanced, because the atmosphere is curved around the Earth, the plane will also just follow the curve of the Earth. There's no way it could go into space because there would be nothing underneath the wings to lift it up. This is the dumbest fucking thing that, in fact, what you've just said is one of the dumbest things that I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent thought was there anything close to resembling a rational thought. Everyone watching is now dumber for having listened to you.
Okay, well, if it's not, there's no force allowing it to continue in that straight line, naturally bringing it along a curve. And surely it would rotate slowly and slowly until it was stalling.
Why would it? What? Why would it rotate?
In flight training, and
elevation is not the same as the curve of the Earth. The plane is following the curve of the Earth, so down is always directly below it because that's where gravity is. Gravity is directly towards the center of the Earth. So it's not like the plane's tipping upside down. The plane is always, level relative to the Earth. That
right.
Up and north isn't up and south isn't down. So no, a plane would not be curving down and end up stalling. The plane is always up relative to the Earth.
Right, but the plane isn't touching the ground, so
why would it have to?
See how? Well, for it to conform with the curve of the Earth, it would have to.
The atmosphere conforms with the curve of the Earth, and the plane uses the atmosphere to fly.
But the atmosphere is a 3D medium, whereas the ground is two-dimensional.
But it's still the surface of the ground is two-dimensional, but the atmosphere still follows. It's concentric to the Earth.
Then why doesn't the atmosphere higher on Mount Everest?
Why isn't the atmosphere higher? What do you mean? Why isn't the atmosphere higher? What does that mean?
If the atmosphere conforms to the surface, then surely we should see peaks and troughs in the atmosphere along with the ground.
No, it doesn't like. When I say the surface, it's not like it follows, hills and stuff. It's relative to sea level. So at sea level, all around the world, it's about 14.7 psi. And as you raise in altitude, the psi drops. So as you go up at Everest, the psi of the atmosphere drops. And it's the same all around the world. So the atmosphere follows the curve of the Earth relative to the gravitational vector. Okay, it's circle, it's concentric to the Earth, and the little valleys and hills and mountains of the Earth go up into that thinner atmosphere. I mean, if this just proves you do not have an IQ of 163 if you don't know the most basic thing about flight mechanics and thermodynamics.
The plane should be stalling.
Why would it be stalling? It's just in the atmosphere. It's staying in the same pressure. It's staying in the same, the medium around it is not changing. So there's no reason it would stall. It's still taking in air to its engines, adding it to fuel, combusting and throwing out the mass at the back.
Listen to me. If it's flying along a curved line and not dipping its nose down, it's going to eventually be facing upwards relative to the up direction at its local point.
North and south are not up and down. It will always be level to the Earth. But north isn't up and south isn't down. Down is towards the center of the planet. Up is away from the center of the planet. So no, it's not going upside down. Right, so if you were looking at the Earth from outside, yes, from that point, from that specific, vantage point, it would look like the plane was going upside down. But on Earth, gravity decides what is up and down. So it's not going to be. It's not going to be. It's not going actually upside down at any point because down is towards the center of the Earth. Okay.
My point. Let me make a diagram. Okay.
Dude, how do you not get this? The atmosphere is curved, and it follows the curve of the atmosphere, with gravity always pulling it towards the center of the Earth.
Right, but right now you're arguing against the point I haven't made, because I think there's been a miscommunication, so allow
No,
me.
I've understood what you said, and it's dumb. It's what every fucking stupid flat earther says. All right, here's the thing. You're not stupid because you're a flat earther. You're a flat earther because you're stupid.
That's an ad hominem attack.
No, it's not. It's exactly the opposite of an ad hominem attack. If I was to say, that's how dumb you are, I literally just did the opposite of an ad hom. I said, you're not stupid because you're a flat earther. That would be an ad hom. Right? That's an ad hom. To say that you're a flat earther because you're stupid is not an ad hom. It's a statement of fact. So, yeah,
Right,
you don't understand flight mechanics. That's brilliant. Spherical Europa for 55 TRY says, showing the video of turning torso seen from 25 to 50 kilometers, the best proof of curvature. Let's see what he has to say. I'm working with this right now. His misunderstanding of flight mechanics is pretty fucking hilarious to me.
I'm making a diagram. Let me share it with you.
You're breaking out the crayons, are you? Bless. CK Mammoth 199 says, Monkey Cat, Pat Pat, and Ice Sun say hello. Hello, guys.
Do you see how the fifth plane is stalling?
Yeah, because that's not how they fly. They will always have their bottom facing towards the Earth. Because
Why?
gravity pulls towards the center. Gravity doesn't pull down, it pulls towards the center of the Earth. So the plane's bottom is always facing the Earth. Oh my fucking God, you're so dumb.
They'd have to constantly dip their nose down.
No, they wouldn't. They follow the atmosphere is curved. And as long as you balance the forces, it stays within that curve. In fact, planes fly with their nose up. The forces are what's important. Once you balance the forces of thrust, drag, weight, and lift, once you balance those forces, it will automatically follow the curve of the Earth without ever dipping its nose down. IQ 163, my fucking ass.
Allow me to make another diagram.
Is it going to be as stupid as this one?
I don't believe it's stupid. I believe.
I mean, everyone can see that it's fucking stupid. Right. Let me show you this so you understand. Right, this is how planes work, dumbass. And I'll get that up for people. See that? At what point is it dipping its nose down? It's not.
It is. It's dipping.
No, it's not dipping its nose down. Its nose is up relative to the surface of the Earth. Look at the line going straight down through the middle. Right? Relative to that, its nose is pointed up the entire time. Not once has it dipped its nose down. You're fucking
its nose
hilarious.
Is down. You can see.
No, literally the nose is not dipping down. The nose is pointed up relative to the surface of the Earth. The line going through the middle is the perpendicular pull of gravity. That is what is down. Relative to down, the nose is always pointed up.
But that's not even a simulation. This is just an animation.
This is a sim. What's the difference between a simulation and an animation?
A simulation is using real world forces, and this is just a road.
These are using forces. These are using this is using the pitch and everything. This is demonstrating. It's actually a pretty good simulation demonstrating how a plane flies relative to the surface of the Earth, including all pitch data, amplitudes, lines and circles, and everything, including the angle that is flying relative to the Earth, showing that the pitch is staying exactly the same. The pitch doesn't change as it goes around the curve. So this is how a plane flies. You could add in the atmosphere and the forces and everything if you want, and it would show why it stays like that. But this is how a plane flies, not your fucking stupid. In your fucking diagram, the plane is going sideways.
I thought you said that sideways and up and down were relative.
Well, actually, in your one, right, let's go back to yours. In your one, it shows that the plane on the first one here will end up pointing directly into the sky, right? Because the plane at the bottom here, the fifth plane, should be perpendicular to the pull of gravity, which is that red line would be going straight to the center. And then the next dumb thing you've shown would be impossible because there would be no air for the plane to get up there. The plane has to have air below the wings to create lift. And if that air follows the curve of the Earth, so will that plane. It's very fucking simple, a bit like you.
I'm not simple.
Yeah, you fucking are, dude. You're extremely simple. Okay? When your mum told you that you were special, she was correct. But she didn't mean what you thought she meant.
I'm not simple.
You're very simple. You're like the most simple genius I've ever spoken to. If you can't understand the most basic principles around flight mechanics, then you're in no fucking position to be talking physics with me. You are, in fact, dumb. That's as simple as that. You're thick. You're stupid. You are a moron that does not understand the most basic concepts in physics or science. You are in no position to be having a conversation with me, an expert in physics and science. You are below me. You are below the level of everyone watching this. You should have read a fucking book once in your life.
Why would you say that, though? Like, why?
Because it's all true. You are stupid. This is a fact. You are dumb. You are a moron. Your mother must have dropped you on your head. There's a large chance your parents met at a family reunion.
That's your opinion, though.
No. Well, yeah, it is my opinion that there's a large chance your parents met at a family reunion. It's a bloody good chance. There's also a good chance that you were fed lead paint instead of formula, and there's a very, very good chance that you are in fact a victim of fetal alcohol poisoning syndrome. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is.
My foster brother had fetal alcohol syndrome, and that's
good
not
job.
funny.
I find it hilarious.
Okay.
Are you going to cry?
No, but damn.
Well, stop whining then. Stop being so fucking stupid and pretending like you're smart, because you're not. Anyone that shows that fucking nonsense about how they don't understand how planes work deserves no respect. You are not qualified for this conversation, okay? You have just proven that. You are stupid. You are dumb. You are a moron. You are an independent asshole that does not understand science. You cannot call yourself a scientist when you understand nothing about science. Seriously, every scientist in the world wants you to fuck off. And when you get there, they want you to fuck off again.
I'm an independent scientist.
You're not. Jim Daniels for $5 says, Chilean authorities stated that Go changed his flight plan mid-flight and did not notify the relevant air traffic control centres. Are you crying? I hope so. Real Harrod for $2 says, everything I can't afford is fake. I know. If you were so fucking smart, it would not take you long to make 45 grand.
Yo, you're a shill.
Yeah, cool story, Poe. Icy Spin for $1.99 says, Mama needs a wrench to play Whack-a-Flurf. I'm not adding any more mods at the moment. I have quite a few. Dom the Blade for £2 says, Craig, what vaporizer do you use? Ask Rachbot, but I'm tending to use a bong at the moment. Eddie Reese has been over 46 months, says, can I just say I'm super proud of Scotland's response to Trump's visit? Yeah. Trump, you fucking jobby. It was brilliant. Did you see the part where every time he tried to speak, people start playing bagpipes? I thought that was fucking hilarious. I bet you think Trump's a good guy, don't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Trump's a pedophile.
All right, have you finished crying now?
Yeah. No,
Good.
I wasn't crying.
Yeah, you were. Spherical Europa, 55 tries, says, I think I failed to send a donation. Anyway, showing the video. No, I did see that one. Admiral Snappy Turtle, member for 3 months, says, can we get an entire stream of just FTFE playing the guitar and possibly shirtless? Aye, I reckon. Nathan Bishop for $10 says, Craig, what's wrong with your Starlink? I've been using it for 2 years. Right. It was okay but it's not suitable for what I needed. Right, my family's a very high usage of internet, and Starlink has a fair use policy that's quite restrictive, and there simply was not enough bandwidth for me to stream constantly in 1080p or even 720p without buffering whilst my children are playing Xbox and my wife's killing people on Call of Duty and stuff. So, dude, this is just fucking hilarious. I am this discussion about planes. I'm making its own video because it's the dumbest thing that you said. I mean, there was a lot of dumb that you said today. I believe that you're pretty good at programming, probably a lot better than me, right? But it doesn't change the fact that to try and debunk the Earth being a globe, you showed some spherical planets and then misunderstood flight mechanics whilst saying you got a IQ of,
Listen, okay.
163, which was a lie.
You made me a little bit upset, but
Good.
you can just get and forgive,
No, you're
can
dumb.
move on.
You're stupid, and you should be ashamed of that fact.
I will never be ashamed.
You should be ashamed of how stupid you are. You bring nothing to humanity. You lower the average IQ of humanity itself.
Estimate my IQ.
3.
That would mean I'm like a bacterium.
Correct. Tim Davidson for $5 says, down is to the ground. The upside down plane still has its belly towards the ground. Yeah, I know. He didn't even understand. Good. I like the fact that you just, burned yourself. So that was nice. Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare. PJ says for $5, he took 4 IQ tests and added them together to get 160, right? Don the Blade, £5 says he's too arrogant. No more Mr. Nice Craig. Let's go full FTFE. I think he's got what he deserves. Rosie, $5 says, Alex, fly from Aruba to Boston, straight line towards Polaris. What is the plane's climb angle and altitude when passing over Boston?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Did it sound rhetorical?
I'm not sure. Could you repeat it?
If you fly from Aruba to Boston in a straight line towards Polaris, what is the plane's climb angle and altitude when passing over Boston?
If you flew in a straight line towards Polaris, you'd pass through the crust of the Earth.
So what's the plane climb angle and altitude when passing over Boston from Aruba to Boston?
It would be negative because you'd be flying straight through the Earth if you were flying straight on.
Oh, not if the Earth's flat, right?
Well, on a globe Earth, you'd be flying through the crust.
Well, yeah, but you're a flat earther, right?
Yes.
So on a flat Earth, when you fly from Aruba to Boston in a straight line towards Polaris, what's the plane's climb angle and altitude when passing over Boston?
So, that first city name, I'm sorry, I'm not getting the pronunciation of it.
Aruba.
Sorry.
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna make a...
What would be the flight path? It would just be a straight line. I mean, you'd want to avoid
And what is the
Bermuda
plane's
Triangle.
climb angle and altitude when passing over Boston?
I mean, the Bermuda Triangle is an issue.
No,
So
it's not.
It's in that area.
Rachbot, who's been around for 67 months, says, you're so awesome, now spank me. Rach, activate spankbot.exe. I think you'll like that one. Gary IOW for $5 says, cool. Do you want to have a debate with Gary about some programming? I can set that up.
Okay.
David Lee for $1.99 says, the best was getting him caught cheating at golf. Oh, that was fucking brilliant. Yeah, Trump getting caught cheating at golf. Right, so, let's be clear. You gave no evidence that the Earth is flat. None at all. You looked at something and said your eyes are measurements. That's not how that works. You then showed some spherical planets, also not evidence for the flat Earth. And then you misunderstood flight mechanics. Also, not evidence for the flat Earth. You get an F, which is probably the highest grade you've ever achieved.
Okay, that's your opinion, mate.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's probably very accurate. You know when you drew a picture and took it to your mum, she spat on it, right?
That's your opinion.
You didn't deny it, I see that.
It's your opinion.
No, it's not my opinion that you didn't deny it, we just saw you not deny it.
That's your opinion.
Did I break you?
That's your opinion.
Alright, so, what I'm going to do is say that you were a complete failure here, right? But I want to give you another opportunity, okay? Because You
That's your
sucked.
opinion.
Right? You really, really fucking sucked. I will give you another opportunity if you agreed to prepare a 10-minute presentation of exclusive evidence for the Earth being flat with data to back it up. What do you reckon?
That's your opinion.
Yep, I broke him. Look at it, guys. Look at the fucking stupid. Okay, so I was wrong about something. Apparently, Mensa still do IQ tests, but not in the way he was saying. Rosie says for $5, today I learnt that on flat Earth, planes can fly in a straight line from Aruba to Boston because triangles. Well, thank you very much, guys. That has been an incredibly fun stream. I think I may have actually made him cry. Oh, I do like a good old flat Earth debate. Tomorrow we'll try and finish off the DERF versus non-physicist. Yeah, the plane thing, that has to fucking be its own video. That was just ridiculous. Hey, Curious UK, right? If you find a Flerf willing to debate me on your channel, I will 100% come on and let you mod for me. Like, I love it. Sparky NJ, member for 67 fucking months, says, I finally caught a live show. Getting back and start over. Nah. Poe over there got destroyed. So I'm just looking at all the evidence that he is that Alex guy. Yeah, I do plan on doing a whole music stream. I've got a couple of songs that I'd like to show you. But anyway, that is it for tonight, guys. I want to thank you very much for your support. It's been an absolutely incredible night. It means the absolute world when you support me this way. It's more than I could ever ask for. And just because I really like it, we're going to watch once again the new song from Conspiracy Music Studios. If you are not subscribed to Conspiracy Music Studios, then I would very much like you to do that. Could my mods please be a wonder and post the link in the chat to Conspiracy Music Studios. This is Illuminati. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat Earth.
I've reached for months, cried Mason on my every man a liar. Accuse the world without a clue. Preach my gospel of suspicion. Now the joke's on old me too. I lit every fire with reckless delight, but it burns when it comes back to bite. Funny how a dose of your own venom bites when the dark accusations haunt your nights. I once believed I was righteous and bold, but now this bitter harvest feeling cold. Now they say I'm Illuminati with a triangle for a crown. This ain't the justice I imagined when I was tearing others down. Through 1,000 crazy stories, now they're spinning back around. Every face is looking sideways, and my own words drag me down. Yeah, it's unfair. I tell you, it just ain't right to be judged by the shadows and the fading light. Guess the world keeps spinning, flat or not. When what goes around well, it comes around.
Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.